Let's get nasty on a Tuesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's 2:01. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. You know how to get a hold of us throughout the course of the show today. Air Comfort Service tax line, 314-399-9646. If you want to leave us a mic drop via the free 101 ESPN app, you can always reach out to us there. And by the way, yesterday we got a text message about Mizzou, right? It wasn't even halfway through the show. I think we were halfway through the first hour. And somebody had texted us and said, hey, I guess Mizzou didn't play. Leave us a mic drop. What's your thoughts? Beat us to it. What's your thoughts on Mizzou? What's your thoughts on anything? If you're complaining about something that we're not talking about, one, hold on a sec, because we'll probably get to it throughout the course of 4 hours, but go for it. Let it rip. You'll probably hear your take live in the Fast Lane, but we appreciate any and all interaction. And if you're watching via the Air Alliance Team YouTube channel at 101 ESPN STL, you can always leave us a question or thought in the chat room, too. My first question, though, would be, how does Brandon Staley still have a job? How does he still have a job, Marsh? This guy and his analytics spreadsheet completely ruining an NFL franchise is actually pretty good right now.
He's terrible.
And last night was not all Brandon Staley, okay? Justin Herbert with the ball in his hands. That is a game, and I know I'm using the ultimate right now. The ultimate Tom Brady-esque.
Careful going there.
He's not Brady,
Careful.
But Brady was always the exception to the rule. But Mahomes right now is the exception to the rule with any quarterback. But you give Mahomes the ball in that situation, needing a field goal, he's going to get you a touchdown. That is the difference between Patrick Mahomes and everybody else. And I love Justin Herbert. I'm a huge Justin Herbert fan. We were having this discussion before the show today. Mm-hmm. You put Herbert behind Philly's offensive line with Lane Johnson. With those receivers in that defense, you've got a team that can challenge the 49ers. In fact, they probably surpass them. That's how big of a Herbert fan I am. But that's a moment where you get the ball back, opportunity to either tie or win a game. You got to make it happen. Now, Micah Parsons, credit to him. He fired up that last pressure, got to Herbert, got the interception. Defenses pay to win games too. But Herbert has had many opportunities in this early going to make things happen, and he has fallen short. He also is coached by somebody that should not be a head coach.
What?
Brandon Staley, another opportunity down, what was it, 10-7 at that point? Just looks at his spreadsheet, goes, we're going to go for it. This guy goes for it constantly, and I know what the numbers say.
Anthony, the numbers say that you should go for it.
You should go for it on every fourth down ever known to man, because it'll work out throughout the course of a season.
They should be 0-5 right now.
Here's the funny thing. They could be 0-5 or 5-0. They could have beat Miami. They could have beat Tennessee. They could have beat Dallas last night. Every close game that the Chargers play in, you're almost like, how is Staley going to F this up tonight?
Yeah.
And it goes back to last year when he played Mike Williams in a game that was meaningless. Or
that was
a couple of years ago.
That was great, yeah.
You have an opportunity to go to playoffs just by taking a tie. Homeboy goes, nah, let's go for a win, and you lost. That was the Raiders game. Mm-hmm. Then you play Mike Williams, who is paramount to your offense when he's healthy, which is rare, which is why you don't play him in a meaningless game at the end of the year. He gets hurt again. You go back throughout the last couple of weeks, there is something with Brandon Staley damn near every single week. What happened to just taking the points in football? Have we gone so far the other way now where we just don't we lose sight of the fact that if you score more points than the opposition, you're going to win the game? And Dallas did it too. Dallas they did not kick a field goal. They decided to go with their version of the tush push, and Dak didn't get there. You left points on the board there. You know what I watched on Sunday morning? Did you watch the London game at all, guys? Did you get up? No. You had pumpkin patch duties and things like that.
Yeah.
Marsh, did you happen to watch the London game
this weekend?
The Ravens and Titans?
I caught a little bit of it.
Okay. So the Ravens drove the ball pretty consistently in between the 20s, and then they stalled out. And you know what they did? They kicked field goals. John Harbaugh said, okay, we're going to take the points. They won the game. And Vrabel was doing it too. Tennessee just couldn't sustain that momentum. Was that a picture-perfect, offensive display there for the Ravens? No. They left points on the board. They would have left more points on the board if they were coached by Brandon Staley.
Anthony, I get the feeling that you don't think he's a good head coach.
I don't at all. And I had the Cowboys last night, as everybody knows in our NFL Pick'em Challenge. So I was just fine with the decision makings that Brandon Staley had.
Apart from last night, what other bad decisions has he made?
Well, went over a couple of them, Jamie. Really, how about this? If you go back like every game that Staley has coached, there's something. There's been something.
Do you think Staley and other coaches are playing in the moment instead of rather looking at the full game?
I don't know.
The full 60 minutes?
Okay, so that's an important question.
I don't know what he's looking at.
That's a good point.
Because you mentioned the field goals, and you're playing that expecting that you'll get another opportunity to score a touchdown later in the game. So instead of taking the points and just having points and banking them, they go for it, they don't get it, and then all of a sudden the momentum swings to the other side.
And you're chasing now. You're constantly chasing. If you watched that game last night, that was not going to be a 34-31 shootout. If it's Oregon-Washington in Seattle on Saturday, field goal's probably not going to cut it until the end. Like, you're going to have to score touchdowns. That I get. Your defense was playing well. Your offense wasn't sustaining drives after the first. You went right down the field. After that, how many missed opportunities offensively or stalled out drives do you need to realize that points are at a premium? Where are the analytics that say points are at a premium tonight? Where's my points at a premium column? Kick the field goal, dude. Now, I know that was earlier. That was earlier in the third quarter. There's plenty of things that happened. But to your point, it's about momentum, too. You just had a drive. You had the defense licked, but they came up, they bowed. And what do? You go for it. You don't get it. You don't get any points. And now your defense has to Gumby shoulders it out to the field now.
And you lose by 3.
And you lose by 3 when it's all said and done. That's brutal, man. That's brutal. That's a good team.
I don't know what to say.
Andy, it's bad.
I just expect it from the Chargers. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's all.
You should.
It's bad when you're losing to another coach who is not that great of a coach. And Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy is 10 times the coach that Brandon Staley is.
That says a lot.
He is. First of all, he's got a Super Bowl. He had Rodgers. Yeah, he also fixed Rodgers' mechanics. I've been over this so many times. McCarthy's final years in Green Bay were ugly. Like, clearly some complacency set in. He was butting heads with it, Rodgers, all that. Okay, that's true. Mike McCarthy is 10 times the coach that Brandon Staley is. I'm sorry, he is. What has Brandon Staley done?
Nothing.
Besides cost himself team. He's got a quarterback. Sean McDermott might not be a great head coach. He's got a quarterback that he's winning. How many head coaches are given legit franchise quarterbacks and muck it up like this dude has? It's amazing to me.
Anthony, we got a little breaking news.
What do we got?
From your buddy Shefty, Adam Schefter. Looks like 7-time Pro Bowler Julio Jones is going to sign a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, reuniting him with A.J. Brown.
Interesting. Okay.
Depth piece, I guess.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy.
If he could stay healthy. I always wondered what happened with him in Tennessee. Like, why was that? They gave up, I think, a second-round pick for Julio, and they cut him after 1 year, and he wasn't productive and all that. There was you don't do that unless there's some other stuff going on.
It's probably the quarterback.
Might have been the quarterback, yeah. By the way, just an update. We said yesterday, one, that we beat the Rizzuto show.
Yeah,
so
baby.
we're up 4-2. That's the key there. I needed the Cowboys to win last night because I was the only one on the Cowboys from our team. I was 1 point behind everybody. So, with the Cowboys winning, I tied Kerry Davis, Brad Thompson, and Andrew Marsh. Came down to a tiebreaker. What that tiebreaker is, I have no idea. I don't know how the tiebreaker works on here.
I think it's the score of Monday Night Football that you enter into.
How close you are.
Maybe.
I don't remember what I put in.
I think it's just Mike Ryder who picks.
It might be right, Mike Ryder.
He's got it out for you.
Either way, the tiebreaker answered. And I finished last on our team, despite scoring 10 points. So I'm gonna get the first. I'm gonna get my first shot of the year today. We'll do that, and we'll videotape it so nobody cries about it.
We'll just do it like we did last time. We'll have the YouTube cam. We'll have Marshy whittle it around and get it there. Zoom in.
I was hoping to
on that tuchus.
I was hoping to get a little further into the season before absorbing the first shot. But you know what, boys? We had a hell of a week.
We certainly did.
Jamie with 11, the rest of us with 10.
It's a good week.
We dominated some fools.
I still don't. I don't know if I like the punishment. One of us has to take a punishment for winning. Like, I still don't understand that rule.
Well, again, this was started by the Rizzuto show down the hall there.
I get it.
And Marshy, you saw the river of tears last year.
I know. We were swimming in it.
Whatever.
Well, we had our pool floaties. It was like the lazy river.
It was like a tsunami from down the hall, just tears every time we didn't do the punishment.
Did you guys talk to John Chiaussi, the big boss? They had to get flood insurance for this place because of it. Yeah. They had to buy extra flood insurance because of the river of tears that was coming down from the point.
Yeah, I heard him say that and talked to, I believe he reached out to Tracy Bibb.
Yeah, of course.
The Bibb agency.
She's fantastic.
You're in good hands with Tracy Bibb.
No doubt. All right, so I'll get shot at some point today. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Want to win big in baseball? Well, you better spend. That's somebody I'm sure on the text line today after watching the Phillies and the Rangers win again. Those teams obviously spend a bunch. But is it the best way to build? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. Before I came into the station today, my routine, I went out to the Missouri Athletic Club, the West Clubhouse, got my workout in. Did shoulders today, boys. Did some shoulders.
Burn, baby, burn.
That's right. Got the workout in, showered up, then I went right to the business center. And I love that they have a nice quiet spot. So if I want to make sure that I prep for the show, I can do it right there. Great. If I want to get breakfast or lunch, man, the food's fantastic there. But as I've often said, when you're walking out of the Missouri Athletic Club, there's a sign that's posted that's got all of the different events that they have throughout that month, and that sign is filled. And for a family man like myself that's got 3 young ones, I saw that they got the Trunk or Treat event coming up, I think this weekend. I love it. I love being a member of the Missouri Athletic Club. I talk to, different people throughout the course of my workout or, just chatting with people, and they always talk about the club amenities as well. It's a perfect spot. Missouri Athletic Club, that's Miami C. Well, if you want to win big, you got to spend in Major League Baseball, right? At least that's what a lot of people are probably saying today after the Phillies took a 1-0 lead in the NLCS, and the Texas Rangers have taken a 2-0 lead over the Astros in their best-of-7 series for the ALCS. So spend big. Those two teams are in the top 10 when it comes to payrolls this year. You've got the Phillies at 4. You've got the Rangers at 9. Spend big, then you win. Not if you're the Mets, Yankees, or Padres. Those are the teams that are listed ahead of the Phillies. Those teams, all three of them, none of them made the playoffs.
What?
Yeah.
But Anthony, you're guaranteed to make the playoffs if you spend big.
No.
Isn't that the way it works?
No. But here is a subtle difference here, Jamie. When you do get to the postseason and the big money stars that you did shell out big money for, when they produce, that's what makes a difference. It's a simple concept, but it works.
You mean like a leadoff home run?
A leadoff home run from Kyle Schwarber certainly helps. I was kind of hoping he hit his face out there, so we have a different cut to play when BT comes on.
Yeah. We're still in the home run derby, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We need it. Why don't we just go ahead and pick some guys? I don't know if the lineups are out yet, but you and I are just going to have to pick every single game here.
We should pick 2 guys in each game.
We should. Let's do that.
So hang on here.
We're going to do it right now.
What is that, lineups?
MLB lineups.
There it is.
Is it even out tonight?
I don't know, Anthony.
No, it's not out.
It's not out?
We have an idea, though.
Who's tonight? Is it the Phillies and the Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
Right.
So what are you saying? We pick one player each from each team? Is that what you're saying?
We pick 2 guys. Yeah, 1 from each team.
Okay. All right.
So hang on here. I got to pull up my roster. All right. Who goes first?
Who went first last time?
I did.
You did. Okay, so I'll go first. I will take... You know, why don't you go ahead and give me Bryce Harper?
Yeah, that's really...
I'll take Bryce Harper.
It's putting yourself out there a little bit, isn't it?
I'll take Bryce Harper.
Okay. I will go with JT Realmuto.
Oh, he's got the only home run off of Merrill Kelly, I believe.
Yeah, I had no idea, but I just think he's going to touch seats tonight.
You just feel it. Okay, and then you can
Feel it in
take...
my bones.
You could take the Diamondback.
All right.
We'll yo-yo this thing, or snake draft
Let's
it, or
see
whatever.
here. I'm trying to pull up their... Computer's not cooperating with me, Anthony.
Corbin Carroll's a good one.
Yeah, I know he's...
Christian Walker is a good one.
Tommy Pham. Will he hit the ball, though? Or will he just whiff? All right, this is frozen. It's frozen. Just give me Corbin Carroll. There we go.
All right.
Just call it, because I can't access it. I can't work in these conditions, Mike. I mean, come on.
I'll take Ketel Marte. All right, so I have Marte and Harper. You have JT Realmuto.
I mean, who can do this?
And you have Corbin Carroll. Okay, there's our home run derby plays tonight. We'll see if we can, one of us can
I better write
break
it
this.
down, because, my gosh, I'll forget.
All right, so going back to it. Kyle Schwarber hit a solo blast to lead off the game last night. Bryce Harper has been on an absolute tear. Trey Turner has had a really rough first half and really much of the second half and turned it around. Zach Wheeler, dominant. Aaron Nola goes again tonight. He's going to be dominant. It's not just paying. It's not just paying players. It's paying the right players and having those guys perform. I mean, that's what it is. The Padres paid guys. The Yankees paid guys. The Mets paid guys. They didn't perform. And then the Mets had to sell off, including Max Scherzer, who is one of the top paid players on the Rangers. He's going to go in Game 3, reportedly, for Texas. He's going to come back.
Yeah.
Jacob deGrom is making the most money on the Rangers. Outside of that whiff, you got Corey Seager, who's been great. Marcus Semien, who's been great. Scherzer. How about Nathan Eovaldi yesterday? He looked good for you?
Yeah, he was good.
His numbers in the regular season, you get him in the postseason, It's postseason Nate. It's not about spending. It's about spending on the right players that can also produce in the playoffs. It is a simple concept, yet it's difficult to execute. Depends on who's available.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge for the Cardinals moving forward. It's not necessarily spending. It's who are you going to spend that money on? You're going to have to get uncomfortable for certain players. Because you're going to have to entice them to come to St. Louis. And are those guys postseason performers?
I think for the first time in a long time, the Cardinals have a bit of a weird problem, is that St. Louis may not be the most appealing place for guys to go.
You shut your mouth.
No, seriously. I don't mean St. Louis, the city, and the baseball fans and all that. But ordinarily, the Cardinals, when they reach out to somebody, a free agent or whatever, they've got, and I think I brought this up before, they've got the, hey, look, we're in it every year. You come to St. Louis, we're competitive every year. We're in the playoffs. We're in the mix, we're top of the division. You come to a winning environment. You can't sell that this year. You can't. You have to sell the fact that you're like, hey, we're heading back to being a winning team. We've got Arenado and Goldschmidt. Like, now you've got to start selling your team to players rather than just the whole Cardinal success.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird because if you're a free agent, and let's say you have the possibility of picking between the Cardinals and the Mets, both teams, bad years, whatever. But what team do you think gets back to prominence quicker as a player? Knowing that Steve Cohen.
Right. That's the perception.
And now he's got real baseball people in real baseball jobs. Doesn't have his buddies just messing around and spending his money anymore. And he's removed himself, but he's still there to spend the money. So then you sit there, if you're Aaron Nola, let's say the Mets come to you and offer you identical deal to the Cardinals. Where are you signing?
I'm going to sign with the team that's going to be aggressive. And the Cardinals, you're right. The Cardinals don't have a track record of being aggressive.
No, they don't at all.
In the offseason.
So if I'm Aaron Nola or I'm Sonny Gray and I'm their first signing, or I could potentially be, like, am I waiting? Do I pump the brakes and say, call me in a week when you get the other guy? Because if you don't get the other guy, I'm alone on an island here in your rotation.
Well, it fits into what you had read off before the show today. You read us some Aaron Nola quotes. And Aaron Nola, we'll paraphrase, but he said, I want to stay in Philadelphia. I went through the long rebuilding process, and now we're loaded. You sign a Trey Turner. You don't have to do much to convince Trey Turner to come to you. You can have Bryce Harper reach out to him. You can have Kyle Schwarber reach out to him. You can have Nicholas Castellanos reach out to him. JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins when he's healthy. Aaron Nola, Zach Will. It's an easy sell. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to spend. And we're built to win in the postseason. That's an easy sell. You're right. If you're the Cardinals, are you going to sign me and then stop? Because that has been their track record. They have made moves. They have spent.
Yeah, am I your signing? Am I your single?
Am I the prize? Just keep adding just one guy at a time here. Contreras, Goldschmidt the 1 year, Arenado the 1 year. You took 2 off seasons off.
Yeah.
You kicked your feet up. Like, we're good. So.
And players are seeking that now.
Sure.
Agents and players are more aware than ever as to how competitive these teams are going to be. Because, yes, the money is great. These guys are, they're cashing and they're winning a lottery, basically, signing these free agent deals. But talk to the guys who signed those deals and then played on miserable teams.
Right.
Look at Scherzer and Verlander. They wanted out. They wanted out of the Mets because it was like, we're not winning. This is terrible. Like, yeah, I'm being paid a lot of money, but I need to go back to.
I'm an older player.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pitch forever. Well, that also leads me back to Jordan Montgomery. And a lot of Cardinals fans, and rightfully so, I don't blame you. I'm right there with you. What about bringing back Montgomery? Okay, fantastic. If you're his agent, though, if you're Boris, you're calling the Cardinals saying, okay, what's the term? What's the money? And what else are you doing this offseason? Because Montgomery was right. He was here. He knows what the situation was. He knows what the vibe is. And he might tell Boris, no, thank you. We don't know. So the idea of signing Montgomery, I'm all for. But, again, he was just here. He would know the situation.
Well, he's going to kind of write his own check here now. After what he's done in the postseason and the way he's been their number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ka-ching.
He's going to back up the Brinks truck, and the Cardinals can't. They can't afford to give that guy the money he's going to command.
Right.
If you're going to give that money, you're getting a Nola or a Snell, not Montgomery. And no disrespect to Monty, but you know what I'm saying? His value is going to be inflated just because of what's happened here recently.
And the Cardinals won't do it.
No.
All right, 3, and they probably won't do the Nolan Snell thing either. 314-399-9646. Again, 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. We got Blues Cues coming up. So if you got a Blues-related question, send it in now. Blues Cues next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Yesterday, the Rangers defeated the Astros by a final score of 5-4 to take a 2-0 series lead in the ALCS. The Phillies also defeated the Diamondbacks in game number 1, 5-3. The Phillies will look to take game 2 tonight. We'll have that for you right here on 101 ESPN, pregame starting at 6:30. Also last night, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys defeated the Chargers 20-17. We'll talk about the NFL later in the show. But coming up next, we have Blues Cues. Send us your questions, 314-399-9646. We'll answer those next. The Blues take on the Arizona Coyotes on Thursday. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane's Blues Cues.
That's right. Time for some Blues Cues, some Blues-related questions via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 or our Air Alliance Team YouTube channel at 101 ESPN STL. Here's our guy, Andrew Marsh, with your Blues-related questions.
From the 309, hey guys, just tuned in. Have you discussed the scuffle today between Brayden Schenn and Jordan Kyrou? I'm sure that didn't go well for Kyrou.
Well, no, it wasn't much, though, guys. Honestly, I was standing right there. I was 15 feet away from the scuffle. And what I liked about it is the team was practicing hard. You know, they were doing a defensive zone coverage drill to where you've got to be aggressive. And I don't know if Jordan Kyrou was giving 100% at the time or not. Brayden Schenn ended up having to cover Jordan Kyrou, and things got heated a little bit. There was some shoving and a couple of cross checks, and then Brayden Schenn kind of grabbed him around the neck, and that was it. They didn't stop the drill.
Is that good for Kyrou? I would imagine that's part of it is good.
Of course it's good.
You know, add a little toughness, add a little grit.
But it's not even that. It's the expectations of what you're supposed to do in practice.
Yeah.
The expectation of going hard every day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So no days off. You can't. Not with this team. You went through the hell last year, and Brayden Schenn is a guy that played injured, fought for his teammates, did everything. And if he doesn't feel like you're giving it everything you need to be giving it in that moment,
you're going to get choked.
You're going to get tested. And to Kyrou's credit, he pushed back for a little bit, and he got a little bit of intensity. So Schenner got a rise out of him. Had he wanted to, he could have dropped the mitts and had his way with them. But, you know, that part's not necessarily good for the team. Mm-hmm. But it was good to see that intensity. Talk about it all the time. We used to have fights all the time in practice. If you're not challenging your teammates, how the hell can they get better?
Yeah.
Like, realistically, everybody thinks, oh, well, you know, a lot of the new thought is, well, it's just practice. You don't want to go to... Really? So then when the game comes and you're playing against Jamie Benn, and you're down low in the defensive zone, and you haven't practiced at a high intensity.
Yeah, good luck with that.
How are you even getting better? You're not. You're wasting time. You're wasting valuable practice time if you're not out there giving it 100%.
Sure.
So I like that there was a spike in intensity. The practice overall had a really good vibe to it. They worked on a lot of things, including the power play, which looked to be a little crisper today. So scuffle was fine. I made absolutely nothing about it. I giggled. I thought it was great.
From the 314, the Blues look slow to me, especially in the offensive zone. Why is that?
I don't know if they look slow. They've played two really fast teams. Maybe that has something to do with it. But offensively, in the offensive zone, it's not that they're slow. It's just they're not getting enough sustained offensive zone time with the puck. I think a few too many one-and-dones again. And when that happens, you can't really establish any speed in the offensive zone. So I don't buy into the fact that they're slow. I think maybe some of the plays that they're trying to make are developing slowly. But I'm not worried about this team from a speed standpoint, don't get me wrong, they're not at the top of the food chain when it comes to overall team speed, but they're nowhere near the bottom either.
From the 314, Ribs heading to the game Thursday and really wanting Benner to be in the net. If they hold him until the Penguins game, that would be a week off for him. Go Lions, baby.
Yeah, first of all, hear me roar. Go Lions, absolutely. Benner's playing Thursday. I don't know that. I haven't asked Coach. But if I was Craig, why would you play Hofer? Makes no sense. Jordan Binnington's had 3 days off here of practice. Benner goes Thursday, probably goes Saturday. Hofer probably doesn't get his first action until the road trip up in Canada. That's the way I look at it.
From the 660, have we been underestimating Toropchenko's skill set? He looked really good on that line when he was bumped up after Booch got hurt.
One thing about Toropchenko, what he does is he drives a lot of offense. He's not blessed with the greatest finishing ability. Like if he had hands like Barbie, he'd get 20 goals every year, or maybe even 25 because he's so big, so fast, so strong. He's not blessed with that kind of, high-end skill. So he's straight up and down the ice at 1,000 miles an hour and drive the net with the puck and hope for the best.
All Swedish, no finish?
Yeah, it's close. It's close. Now, can he develop it and do a better job of, creating more goals for himself? Yeah, but he's going to have to be around the net. It's not going to be something super fancy that comes out of his toolbox. But, no, good speed, drives the net, causes a lot of havoc out there.
From the 314, I know the sample size is Mozeliak payroll increase small, but judging by the tenacity the Blues have played with so far, what is your realistic outlook on the Blues standing in their conference come mid-season?
In the conference, oh boy, I don't know if I really looked at the conference yet. In the division, I'm right in lockstep with Doug Armstrong that this team, if they reach potential, they're a third-place team in the Central Division. Which says a lot because, you've got Colorado, Dallas, you got Winnipeg, Minnesota, Nashville. Coyotes are going to be much better this year. As far as the conference goes, it's really early to say. Obviously, the Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars are at the top of the food chain when it comes to that. There's a lot to be sorted out over there in that Pacific Division. Imagine the LA Kings will be in the discussion. The Edmonton Oilers are going to pull up their socks at some point here. So overall in the conference, it's too soon to tell, but I am steadfast on the Blues being at the potential of them being third place in Central Division.
There's some people that are complaining about overtime and the shootout in the NHL. Thanks, Dad says, what if on top of making overtime a short line change, like JR said, they also make it a violation to possess it back past the red line like basketball?
Yeah, I've been saying that for... how long now? I don't know. The over and back should definitely be in. Once you cross the red line, you can't go back. If you do, it's a penalty. Put the other team on the power play. You want to see some action in these games, you'll get it. And put the line changes back to normal. Quit fraudulently trying to just tire guys out. I'd rather have players that are moving at warp speed out there than worrying about draining a guy of all of his energy so that then he makes a mistake and then there's a goal. No, keep the speed out there. And then once you pass center ice, you can't go back. So now you better get creative. Now you better show me some speed. Now you better show me some intensity out there. Otherwise, you get a penalty. That's what I would do.
Last one here from the 217. Did you guys see the new theme items? Is Stalter going to have to get a Blues Batman jersey for his kid?
Yeah, probably. Absolutely.
I didn't see that. Where are the new theme items?
I haven't seen it either, but Jamie, can you get one of those Batman Blues shirts?
I don't even know what we've got. So, Anthony, it's hard for me to grab something for you when I don't know.
Yeah, but Jamie just figured it out, okay? Kid loves Batman.
All right.
Kid think he is.
Oh, this is like the giveaways at the games?
Yeah, just snake one.
Here it is right here, the superhero night against the Oilers. It's April 1st. There's a giant Batman symbol right on the crest.
It's not real.
No way.
That jersey's not real. It's April 1st. Think about it, guys. April Fool's Day.
Oh, it is April Fool's.
But they still have to have a giveaway. I
do
think it's awesome.
Or is that the ultimate April Fool's?
Wow. Are you trying to tell Killian that he can't get a Batman jersey?
Yeah, you know how many kids would be devastated?
Yeah, well, welcome to the real world. April Fool's is real, kids.
But he is Batman. You saw his writing?
That's a sick jersey.
Well, then he doesn't need a jersey then if he already is Batman.
That's a good point.
Damn.
I've got no.
If he is really
no
Batman,
response.
he really wouldn't want to be wearing anything like identifying
True.
as Batman.
Yeah, but why is he writing about it in his journal then?
Because it's private to you.
Anthony, are you scared that his secret identity is now open to the public?
I didn't even know that the kid was Batman, so I think
And
we're okay.
you just told the entire world that your child is a
They're not going to
superhero.
believe him, though. You know, that's the thing.
I believe him.
But you've met him. You know how crazy that kid is. So
He does sleep on boxes.
he'll sleep on a box. He'll sleep on a big Tupperware box if he needs to.
He does that because he knows that he wants to toughen himself up, that the world is kind of soft and he'll be ready for anything now.
The kid literally, when I asked him why he was sleeping on a Tupperware box instead of his bed, he looked me dead in the eyes and goes, "It's more comfortable." Okay, son, do your thing.
Maybe you should get him a different bed.
That bed is just
At this
fine.
point-
Trust me.
At this point, I would take away the bed, make him sleep on the floor.
I think he'd be better with that.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Is because when you were gone, he was out fighting crime.
That's true.
And then he was just trying to find a place to sleep. He couldn't make it to his bed.
Right. So
Probably what it is.
that's a good call.
We got to connect the dots.
Hey, we have your chance right now to win a pair of tickets to see your St. Louis Blues take on the Pittsburgh Penguins this Saturday, October 21st at Enterprise Center. As you know, hockey season is back. Grab your tickets for upcoming Blues home games now at stlouisblues.com/tickets, or you can text into the Air Comfort Service text line right now at 314-399-9646 to win that pair of tickets for the Blues and Penguins. Here's the trivia question for you today.
Which current St. Louis Blues player won a Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins?
I'm sure a lot of you know that answer, but you got to be the 101st texter to 314-399-9646 in order to win this.
Or chime in the group chat on the Air Alliance YouTube feed.
There you go. Multiple ways for you to win those tickets today. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. We're going to play Who Are You? With some of these NFL teams. Where are we? That's next on 101 ESPN.
I know that selling your home can be a stressful experience, especially when the market is all over the place like it has been for the last couple of years, really. And the last thing you want is to have an agent that just doesn't have a great track record or the experience of selling your home. That's why you want the best. And the best is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's got several options, which is what I like. And the guaranteed sales option is by far the best one for the seller, in my opinion. And that's where Gloria will sit down with you and agree upon the price of your home, the list price, and she'll sell your home for that price, or she buys it herself. And she guarantees all of that in handwriting. And why does she guarantee that? Why is she so confident? Because Gloria already has the buyers. That's right. She's got a database with thousands of ready buyers. And those buyers create a higher demand and more money for you when you sell your home. So please pick up the phone and give Gloria Liu a call today. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions to apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the price and possession date.
So following last night's victory for the Cowboys, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to look at some of these teams in the NFL and say, who are you? Now, we could fit them into certain categories. We could fit them into Super Bowl contender. We could fit them into playoff contender. We can fit into good, not great. However you want to describe them, guys. It's up to you. But let's start off with the aforementioned Dallas Cowboys. They went on the road last week, got embarrassed by the NFC's top team, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Then rebounded last night with a road win, and now they're 4-2 heading into their bye. Who do you think the Cowboys are?
I think they're a playoff team and nothing more. And they're only a playoff team because of the conference. I mean, there's some really bad football teams in this conference.
Whole division, even.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So when you look at NFC South, who really deserves to be in the playoffs in that division? Nobody really.
Nobody deserves it.
Nobody deserves it. Now you'll get the division
I think the Bucs
winner.
are going to stumble to a. They're going to be the best of the worst.
Yeah.
For the second straight year.
So that means that there'll be no wild card team from that division,
right.
Which means they'll come from another division. And I think that it's the Cowboys in the NFC East. Mm-hmm. They will finish second to the Eagles in that division.
You may have only 2 division winners in the North and the South this year. You'll have the Bucs and the Lions. But who else is making the playoffs out of those?
I don't think any of them are. But the hard part is, Anthony, when you look at NFC West, where do you go with it? You got the Niners for sure. The Seahawks, you want to dog on those other divisions. Well, the Seahawks and the Rams have the same friggin' records as the Saints and the Falcons.
Right. They're what, 3-3?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of teams that are just not good.
Right. Painfully average.
So now with the Cowboys sitting at 4-2, albeit it's only 6 games into the season, to me they're a playoff team, but nothing more.
Yeah, I'm in the same category. I'm gonna put them in the good, not great category. I think they're good. I think the Dallas Cowboys are good. They're not great.
They're fine.
I got them above fine. I have it's great, good, and then fine.
Game?
Like fine would be. The Saints are fine.
No, they're not.
The Bucs are fine.
The Bucs are fine.
How about that? The Bucs are fine. The Saints are not. The Bucs are fine. You watch the team play, you're like, yeah, you're fine. You're gonna beat the bad teams. You're gonna lose to the good ones. They're fine. Mm-hmm. But the Cowboys to me are a good team. They're clearly not great.
I have them good, not great. I literally wrote that down before we even established.
Well, there you go.
What categories we would be throwing these teams into. I have some other categories. I can't wait to get to some of these other teams.
All right, where you got the Bengals? What category do you have the Bengals in?
Also good, but not great.
Yeah.
I've got them in the Jamie Rivers special. You know what that is, right?
Smoke and mirrors.
I got them in the smoke and mirrors category.
You've been hating on them since the season started.
Might as well keep banging this drum.
That's fine. At least you're consistent.
Yep.
The Seahawks should have won that game on Sunday.
Well,
you did nothing off of it. Did the Bengals score a point in the second half? I don't think so.
The problem with this, Anthony, is
they did. They kicked the field goal. My bad.
That everybody else in that division's kind of mid too.
Yeah.
Even the Ravens are only 4-2.
I still like the Ravens.
Like the Bengals are 3-3.
Yeah, they're smoke and mirrors.
So next week, if the Ravens lose and the Bengals win, both of those teams would be at 4-3.
Fine.
Like, that's the issue.
We're playing Who Are You? What about the Ravens? I got them as a ascending team.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't know.
There's
what
more
the
that
hell
they're
my pick to make the Super Bowl. But boy, oh boy,
you know what?
am I regretting that.
They're not ascending. They're lying in the weeds.
No, they're not.
Who are the Ravens? The Ravens are lying in the weeds right now.
Waiting to get run over by a car.
They're not.
Or like a lawnmower.
Defense is good. Yeah, maybe, right. Or a weed whacker.
Yeah.
Ravens defense is good. They start capitalizing on some of these long drives that they have, and they will. At some point in the second half, we're all going to be talking about the Ravens again. And Jamie's going to go, I had them. I told you. I had them in the Super Bowl.
I just said I had them. I didn't back away from it.
But how did you say it?
I wasn't.
You said, I regret it.
No, I didn't say that. I said, I don't believe I used the words regret. I said, here I am. I got them making the damn Super Bowl. I don't think I said regret.
Okay, well, in the second half, you're going to say, and here I am, baby. I got them in the Super Bowl. That's how you're going to sound.
Probably.
What about you, Marsh?
Also good, not great.
Good, not great. All right, Bills.
Same old, same old.
That's fair.
That's my category for them.
I got them smoke and mirrors too. Without Matt Milano, they got more trouble ahead. I mean, you watched that game on Sunday night when the Giants outplayed them for long stretches of that game. To me, you can't come away thinking, oh, yeah, that was a really good team.
No.
I got them in the smoke and mirrors category.
I'm right there with you. Smoke and mirrors for that team. They're headed in the wrong direction.
Yes. What about the Chiefs?
Oh. I almost want to say, nah, I don't know. It's tough because they really haven't played well.
I'm going to say, so we're playing Who Are You? I'm going to say concerned, but not panicked.
Yeah.
You know, you got that one
I'm
kid.
panicking because they still have some of the best players in the league, and they have Patrick Mahomes.
Jamie, you get that one kid, right? And they're struggling a little bit in school, but just not enough for you to really be panicked about it. You're like, we'll watch it. That's where the Chiefs are for me right now.
I could get behind that.
I have them in the good but get it going category.
All right. Chargers. I got them in the fluid category because of Brandon Staley.
I have them in the fire your coach in your good category.
Yeah.
I have them in both of those categories.
You know what's interesting? What you just did there, fire your coach. How many teams would you put in the just get a quarterback and you're going to be good category?
Yeah, a lot.
I wonder how many.
Well, I put the Falcons in there.
I would too. I think they're a good team.
I put
but
the
their
Jets in
quarterback
there.
is an anchor.
The Jets are a team.
All right, so how many? Let's go through this real quick. So you got the Jets, you got the Falcons. I wouldn't put the Patriots in there.
No.
I wouldn't even put the Steelers in there. I think they've got more problems offensively than just, because Kenny Pickett, there's flashes of okay.
He's okay.
How about the Titans?
Nah.
I'm not going to go.
I'm not
It would
sold on
definitely
that.
help. It'd definitely help.
Yeah, but it doesn't turn them into like a powerhouse or anything.
Yeah.
No.
Commanders, no. Giants, because Howe's been okay. He's just getting killed. Packers? I would say yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's Jordan Love now after watching it, but it still kind of could be. But if you get like an Aaron Rodgers, you put him on the Packers. I think that's a playoff team. Let's see here.
What about the Broncos?
No. I think the
defense is
Broncos
too
are
bad?
Yes.
Buccaneers. What about the Buccaneers? You put Justin Herbert there. Like
Yes.
Shaky Bakey has been good
I would say
because of all his
4.
weapons.
Panthers, no. Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals.
No,
I would say 4.
Yeah.
I think 4 teams fit into the if you get a quarterback, you're going to be pretty good. Bucks, Falcons, Packers, and who else did we say? There's
Jets.
another Jets. Perfect. Thank
So
you.
you bring that up to say if you just get a head coach, you can win.
Are the Chargers the only one that fit into that category? Just get a head coach?
Maybe the Raiders.
Oh man, I just don't know how good the Raiders are. No matter who's coaching.
They have some weapons. They have Devontae Adams. They have Josh Jacobs, Jimmy Garoppolo. While we are like, it's Jimmy Garoppolo, he's taken the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jimmy G's
He's
fine.
been a
He's
turnover.
fine.
He's been a
all he does is
turnover
win,
machine.
though. All he does is, well, not this year, but in his career, all he has done is win.
Yeah. He's been. You're right. He's just been a turnover machine this year.
I wonder if the Commanders are in that group, too.
I don't think so.
They're not ready.
I don't think the Commanders. Their defense is terrible, and I don't think. And Ron Rivera is probably done after this year, but I don't think they're one really good head coach away from turning things around. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Real quick, Eagles 49ers. I got them in the Super Bowl contender but flawed category.
Yeah. Wow.
Every team's flawed, but they're still legit Super Bowl contenders.
I totally agree.
I have them in the get healthy, them and the 49ers. Get healthy, and you're good.
Yeah. All right. What does not messing it up mean to you in regards to the Cardinals offseason? This is something that we can get mic drops on for people too. Ollie Marmol on October 2nd said this offseason, I'm paraphrasing, this offseason is vital for us. We can't mess it up. What would messing it up look like to you as a fan?
Last year.
That's one answer. We'll do that next on 101 ESPN. 3:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. It's the Fast Lane with Andrew Marsh and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. So what does not messing it up mean to you? Ollie Marmol said this on October 2nd. He said, I look forward to this offseason. It'll be important, and we can't mess it up. So that got me thinking, for you as a fan, a Cardinal fan, what does not messing it up mean to you? And there's a lot of different avenues that we can go. But if I were to ask you, Jamie, what does not messing it up mean to you as a Cardinals fan? How can you mess up an offseason?
Not messing it up is getting exactly what you need. Like, you know what you need. You need a number one, maybe a number two, and a bottom of the rotation guy. Mm-hmm. And I would even sign another guy that's on a reclamation project tour where you're like, yeah, he was okay 2 years ago. Bad year last year. We'll throw him a bone here. And if he goes back to what he once was, now we got some serious competition in the rotation. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, so what? That to me is not messing it up.
Sure.
You can't let Nola, Snell, and all these guys, whoever it is, Sonny Gray, and look at Nola and Snell may not even be available to you.
Yeah.
Nola may re-sign in Philly. Mm-hmm. Great. Blake Snell, he might have his heart set on another team. So you can't automatically think, well, the Cardinals didn't get Nola and Snell. They messed it up. No, right. It's not like that. But then you better damn well go get Sonny Gray. Mm-hmm. You better damn well go get Jordan Montgomery then, if that's the case. If it's a trickle-down effect of, like, the pecking order, you better go get two of the best names that are out there for the top of your rotation. And then backfill it after that. That's not messing it up for me.
Yeah, so what you just said there, for me, I'll rephrase it just a little bit from my standpoint.
You want to clean it up a little bit, Anthony?
No, I think what you said is great. How I would view it would be, not messing it up would be having a backup plan. You didn't have a backup plan last year. The market apparently was too much for the Cardinals front office. They didn't see that coming. They didn't see some of the deals that other teams were willing to give players, caught them off guard. And instead of reacting, they decided to do very little. I don't necessarily blame them in that regard because you don't want to act emotionally, but you also did not have a backup plan, clearly. It was just, okay, let's fill out the catcher need, and then we'll roll into the season and see how it goes. That is your opportunity right there to build your roster the way that you want it. That's what free agency is, building a roster, helping supplement, what you already have on your roster. It's your decision. Whether Blake Snell or Aaron Nola signs with somebody else, what is your backup plan? What does that look like? So to your point, if Nola goes back to the Phillies and Blake Snell signs a humongous deal with the Mets or Yankees, okay. Even if Gray goes back to the Twins, he's expressed interest in going back to Minnesota, okay. What is your backup plan?
Yeah. You
cannot have excuses going into next season about your rotation. We are at the point where the wall had to come down. There was too many holes to fill in one by one. You took down the wall. Now you're looking at studs. Now you have to rebuild it. I don't necessarily believe that an ace is going to come this offseason. As much as fans do not want to hear me say that or feel as though that I'm giving a free pass to the front office, you're fine to think however you want to think. The bottom line is aces are developed. Now, you can sign guys that are top of the rotation arms. The Phillies did so. The Rangers have done so, and they obviously have done well. The Mets did it, and they did not make the playoffs.
Yeah, it didn't work out there.
You can sign those guys. I'm not opposed to it. And if they express interest, by God, sign them. But a lot of times you're developing those aces. And you look at every organization, a lot of these teams developed it. Phillies developed Aaron Nola. So I'm not necessarily believing or expecting that the ace is going to come this offseason. No excuse, though. You have got to find a rotation that gets you back into that competition next year.
So that's kind of the worst-case scenario for the Cardinals, quite honestly, is if Nola and Snell are off the board and Sonny Gray decides to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay, what's your game plan?
Well, at that point, you've got to shove all your chips to the middle and talk to Jordan Montgomery.
You could certainly do that.
Because the worst case scenario is the music stops and you don't have a chair.
Right.
And it's not because you weren't willing to dance. Mm-hmm. It's just that they weren't really willing to dance with you.
Okay, but if you got to go with some 1-year deals, fine.
Okay, but then so where do you turn?
There's plenty of guys. I'm not saying. Look,
Come on,
any
there's
game.
not plenty of guys. If there were plenty of guys,
1-year deals.
Who?
Okay, I'll list a couple for you. Now, these names are not going to be attractive.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
You're right. Yes, it's a bad situation. Yes,
it's the worst case scenario.
If your top 4 guys,
because
if your
now
top
you're
4
patching
starters,
holes again.
Yeah, you're right.
With Scotch tape.
At least it's a plan, though. I mean, you have to do something.
I understand that it's a plan. Yes, like I would imagine that the Cardinals internally should probably be ready for worst case scenario. I mean, I would be. Best case, and then you get a scenario where you get like half and half.
Right.
We kind of sort of, and then worst case scenario.
Sure.
If they're not prepared for all 3 of those scenarios, then like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Absolutely.
But I honestly, though, like as a Cardinals fan, what do you do if nobody is available to you, and not for lack of trying, just for lack of they pick somewhere else? What the hell do you do?
Yeah, you're right. That would be the worst case scenario. I think you and I are on the same page here. But if the worst case scenario comes about, you better have a plan C.
Yeah, but Plan C is going to look like what they've done the last couple of years.
They didn't even have a Plan B last year.
No, but it's going to look like what we had because that's what will be available to you.
Yeah, true. All right, let's hear from. Actually, we'll carry this over. We'll hear from you next. So I threw it out to you, the listener. You still have time to leave us a mic drop via the free 101 ESPN app. What does not messing it up look like to you from the Cardinals offseason standpoint? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Save money on your car or your home insurance through Allstate with Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency. With Allstate and Tracy Bibb, you get that personal attention that you deserve from your agent. I've talked about this several times before. The insurance agent I had before, don't even know who they were. It was a 1-800 number, and every time I called, it was a process to try and just figure out what my policy was, what I needed, and what was covered, what wasn't. I don't have that anymore. I've got Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency, and they are the best in the business. And right now, Tracy's urging people to go through their portfolio, reevaluate, talk to someone at the Bibb Agency because things have changed so much here recently, and you have to make sure that you have the proper coverage, and you have to also make sure that you're fighting for the lowest rates possible. And that's why Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency are there for you. So please give her a call for a free non-committal quote, and she'll answer any questions that you have. That number is 314-328-4260. That's 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in good hands with Tracy Bibb.
So we just gave our response to what would not messing it up look like to us for the Cardinals this offseason. And again, Ollie Marmol said this on October 2nd. I look forward to this offseason. It'll be important, and we can't mess it up. And we asked for your mic drops on what not messing up would mean to you. Let's hear from Lisa.
Hey, guys, messing it up is acting scared. It seems like now since the Rosarena trade, messing it up means, oh, my God, do we got to keep 3 second basemen, Edman, Donovan, Gorman. No, you're going to have to put your big boy pants on. You're going to have to trade somebody. Somebody's going to go. We need to be more honest with evaluation of talent. I don't know what's going on. And so messing it up to me is doing the same thing that they've been doing. It's not working. That's messing it up. And it's not always about all the money. But it's going to take a special team to be 17th in payroll and win. Let's get real straight here. So, FYI, everyone, they weren't competitive this year. So messing it up means doing the same thing over. Gorman, Donovan, or Edman, one of them better not be on this team next year, or they're doing the same thing over and over again. All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, Lisa. I think she nailed it. There was a couple things there that I really like. Jamie, she's right. The Cardinals have operated scared, or if you want to say, cautious or risk averse. I've often used the term risk averse when it comes to the Cardinals. It's like, here's a risk. They roll the dice a little bit, and they go, nah, we're good. And then all of a sudden, they'll roll the dice on somebody like Dexter Fowler or Mike Leake, and you're like, wow, what? Or even a Marcell Ozuna. Like, they were all in. They were hell-bent. And they got to the third option. They got to the third option, and to the point you always make, the third option, you still overpaid.
You did. The deal should not have been the same once you got to option 3.
It's interesting. The times where they should have pumped the brakes, they didn't. They hit the pedal right to the floor.
It's like they forgot what pedal was what.
And right, it's like, oh God,
hit the brakes.
Well,
I said the brakes.
We're going. And then the times where they probably should have put the pedal down a lot more. They decided to hit the brakes. But Lisa's right, and she also makes a valid point that I think we all need to understand. It costs talent to acquire talent. So if they strike out in free agency or they don't get everything they need in free agency, they may have to go the trade route, and that's going to hurt. There's somebody going the other way that you're going to want on this team next year.
There's only one guy that gets you a number one on this roster.
That you're willing to part with, potentially? Gorman?
Yep, that's it. He's the only one. Like, Lisa can talk about Donovan and Edman, and she's not wrong. I understand exactly what she's saying. But if you're in the market for who's the kid in Seattle? The kid
Logan Gilbert.
Logan Gilbert. I just use his name, okay?
Sure.
If that's who you've got earmarked and the Mariners are willing to do business, they want Gorman.
Yes, of course.
That's it. Don't call me unless you've got Gorman in this trade.
Right. It starts with Gorman. And then we can go from there.
I think that'd be based on the numbers that Gorman put up last year, I think that he fetches that almost by himself. I really do, because he's young, left-handed power hitter. A little bit of injury problems here, but is it a problem or is it just a thing that happened? Played adequate second base. So for me, I think Gorman gets you what you want, but then you don't have a Gorman in your lineup. Mm-hmm. Who's your backup plan for Gorman?
I wouldn't give up Gorman.
I know, but then what are you really acquiring, Anthony?
You're not acquiring what you need.
I know. So then it goes right back to don't mess it up.
Right. And I'm just not going to give up a young. Well, then
you're not going to get
bat.
a pitcher. I'm not saying you.
I know.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying the Cardinals. And if this is the whole thing again. If they get the tight cheeks and they won't get what they need, and they'll go to door number 2 or door number 3, and it's Drew Verhagen or like something like that.
Right. Tyler O'Neill had a really big year at one point. Maybe he'll fetch us something.
Oh, my God.
Let's hear from Jake.
Messing up the offseason, to me, is relying on internal replacements and getting unproven players to plug into your vacancies on your roster. You need proven commodities. You look at the Rangers, you look at the Phillies. What have they added? They've added big money, but big money players who've proven it on the biggest stages. Nathan Eovaldi, Zach Wheeler. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Corey Seager, the list goes on and on. They spent the big money on the players who have proven they can do it when the lights shine brightest. The Cardinals need to take that as the blueprint. You cannot take a young core like the Cardinals and win if you don't have guys on the roster who have won, who knows what it's like, who knows what it takes. All due respect to Goldie and Arenado, they've never won. They've never been in that situation to lead and say, this is what it's supposed to look like, this is how it's going to be whenever it gets to this point. The Cardinals need proven winners in that organization, and they need them in the worst way, and they need to pay for them.
Jake's comments match up perfectly with what we talked about the other day, and maybe it was with Dan. I think Jamie, you had signed off because you were in Dallas, but we had that discussion about, can you win with a young core? No, I don't think you can. I think you need to have a balance of the young core and guys that you added that have won before to supplement your roster and kind of usher in the that knowledge of, hey, this is how it's supposed to be done. I think young team, like look at Baltimore for example. That's a young team, very good, very talented, and they're growing up together. But they're going to have to suffer those losses and those bumps along the way before they win anything, or they're going to have to add some
through
young
a season
guys.
like they just had.
Certainly,
I'm okay with that.
But if we are talking about winning a championship at some point, you do need to have those guys that have been there, done that. I think it's vital.
It is, of course, it is. Unless you're taking, the long road, which is let the young team learn and develop together and create their own calluses, so to say, over the course of time. Like with the Chicago Blackhawks, as much as it pains me to say, when they built their team, all of those young guys had their successes and failures together.
Right.
Started out rough, and then all of a sudden, all these young guys started to play good, and then they ended up with 3 Stanley Cups in a decade.
Sure.
So that's the long play. I don't know if we can do that here in St. Louis. I can't imagine that Cardinal Nation would be in for the long play with guys like Arenado and Goldie. I don't know if those guys would be in for it.
No, I agree.
So it's tough. You're going to have to do the Doug Armstrong here and retool this thing as best you can.
We're talking about what does not messing it up mean to you after Ollie Marmol had said on October 2nd that it'll be an important offseason and we can't mess it up. So Jamie and I discussed what that would look like to us. We heard from Lisa and Jake. Let's go to CJ.
Look, guys, it's not that difficult. The Cardinals messed up whenever they fired Mike Shildt. He was the only non-yes man in the building. They hired their yes man, and they're going to get yes man type of management going forward. I think it's really hard for the franchise to grow with that whenever there's no separate thought processes throughout the entire organization. But in large part, I think my biggest points would be to sign 2 pitchers, one of the American pitchers that is available as a free agent, and at least one of the Japanese pitchers. I think we've had a lot of success going over there to Korea or Japan, and I think they need to keep hitting home on that. It'll be a cheaper route, and they get guys that will kind of fit in to a quiet, follow the leader clubhouse like the Cardinals are honestly looking for right now. So I think that, and I really don't think there's much else that they can do. I think they got to grab a low-hanging fruit and see how it plays out.
CJ, thank you for the mic drop. A lot of people go back to the Mike Shildt thing, and I don't necessarily know if they're completely educated on the situation and how it really went down, nor am I. Wasn't in the room or on the Zoom or whatever, however they fired him back at that point. But it has come to my attention that it wasn't just Mike Shildt bucking back against analytics. There was a portion of that. It was the fact that Mike Shildt had kind of gone rogue on his own, on the organization. I don't mean like just completely off on his own path, but he had a way he wanted to do it, and it didn't necessarily coincide with the organization. And apparently the way he went about it wasn't the greatest for culture. But nobody's talking about that because we don't really have all the details behind it. And even me, it's kind of unfair to talk about it, but it is the elephant in the room. They didn't just wake up one day and go, yeah, you know what? we don't like this guy. Something happened somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
And so to flip it, fast forward here to Ollie Marmol. Ollie Marmol was given a team without a pitching staff. Go find me a successful young manager that doesn't have a rotation. You can't. Ollie's first year was fine. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened the second year?
The pitching stunk.
Yeah. So you can critique all the decisions you want throughout the season of this player, that player. At the end of the day, there were so many games that the Cardinals were out of it by the second inning, third inning. Forget about it. So what are you going to do then? So if Ollie's 1-1, let's just say, his 2 years of managing so far as a yes man, which I truly don't believe he's a yes man. Ollie Trojan horses a lot of things in his comments to make you realize that he may not be in lockstep with the overall, strategy sometimes.
Or maybe he's in lockstep with the overall strategy, but maybe some of the ways to get there.
Or the method. Yeah. Correct. Okay. But you gave him nothing. Mm-hmm. Like you had Michaelis, who's supposed to have a better year. He didn't. Matt's, I don't know. We had Waino, just love Waino, finished great. Love the storybook ending, but that was not a good year for Waino. Who had a good year in that rotation?
Nobody.
Nobody did. Even the guys you traded were not having.
Montgomery.
Yeah, but Monty wasn't great either when he was here.
He was good.
He was fine.
I think he was better than fine.
Okay, he was good.
He was real good.
But no, he wasn't. Go back. He had 1 month where he was terrible.
No.
I'll back Jamie up on that. There was a few starts that had me a little concerned. But
starts.
Overall, though, he was fine. He was fine.
Okay, Anthony, I'll give you Monty, okay? He was Cy Young. I don't care.
He wasn't pitching like he is right now, I'll tell you that.
Not even close.
Nobody is.
The bottom line of what I'm saying, though, is that you
Cy Young out there.
You still didn't have a rotation that could keep you in games, let alone win you games.
Very true. That we can agree on.
That's not on the manager.
Just don't throw my guy.
It's not on the manager.
Monty under the bus.
I don't care about Monty right now.
It's a shame. You should.
I know I shouldn't.
They should sign him back.
That way, when they do, I'll care.
Okay. You're spot on about Mike Schilt. It's not, with all due respect, CJ, it's not as simple as they lost their way when they let go of, they fired Mike Schilt. Jamie's right. You don't just fire a manager that got to the postseason and is part of your, I think that's my mic. Hang tight. I think we're good. Okay. You don't just fire a manager that got to the postseason just on a whim. And it wasn't just because, you just pushed back at Mo and Mo got rid of him. Mo hired him.
Yeah.
And that's a bad look for the organization. And the organization has not said anything, by the way. There's another side to this story. What the details are, I don't know. But there's another side to this story. And the organization is not going to sewer Mike Schilt. So I think let's just move forward here. I also don't think that they got rid of Bruce Bochy here. Nobody has hired him. And I'm not crushing Mike Schilt either. It's just we all act like, well, you got rid of him. Everything fell apart.
If that was the case, there would be a lineup of teams wanting Mike Schilt.
And there hasn't been.
As far as for the manager position.
And there's a lot of there's several teams in needing a manager too. So maybe he'll get another shot at some point. But
and if he comes out and wins the World Series, I guess we'll just have to.
Yeah, then great. Okay. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101
By the way,
ESPN.
Monty was 6-9 with a 3.42 ERA with the Cardinals.
Nice.
Fine.
Excellent.
Fine.
Okay. NFL stock market buy, sell, or hold next on 101 ESPN.
Are you looking to remodel your bathroom or your kitchen, but you may not know where to go to exactly or where to get started? Well, let me help you out. Let me point you in the right direction. Head over to E&B Granite. They're located at 6135 Manchester Avenue. Please let them know that Jamie Rivers sent you in. Sales representatives there are going to they're going to help you through the entire process. Just walk in, and maybe you know exactly what you need. That's perfect. They have everything available to you. No matter what you need, E&B Granite has you covered. But a lot of people don't always know exactly what they're looking to do. And when it comes to countertops, there's nobody better in the business with better selection. They've got granite, they've got quartz, they've got marble, soapstone. And then if you start describing what you're looking for, sales representative is going to sit there and build it with you. They're going to let you see exactly what they're capable of doing. And then what they do is they get into your home, measure everything precisely, take out all the old stuff, put in the new countertops, cabinets, whatever it is you went with, and you're going to love the end result. And then they follow up usually with a phone call, making sure that everything's great and that you're satisfied. That's because they're the best in the business over at E&B Granite. So please give them a call at 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300, or visit them at enbgranite.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Rangers defeated the Astros in Game 2 of the ALCS by a final score of 5-4 yesterday. The Phillies defeated the Diamondbacks in Game 1 5-3. The Phillies will take on the Diamondbacks once again tonight in Game 2 with a 1-0 series lead. You can catch that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6:30. Last night in Monday Night Football, the Cowboys defeated the Chargers 20-17. Anthony Stalter will take his punishment today, so stay tuned for that. And Thursday, the Blues will take on the Arizona Coyotes. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We'll talk with Joe Vitale today at 4:45, so stay tuned. We have our NFL stock market coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by
Saliga
Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Time for NFL stock market buy, sell, or hold. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Marsh, I know you like to do certain categories here. So what category do you have for us today?
So today we are looking at teams that were under 500 last season that are doing, I'd say, pretty good this year. Maybe they're one game under 500, but they're doing a lot better than they did last year. So let's look at some of these teams. We'll start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buy, sell, or hold?
I'm buying even after the loss of the Lions. Look at that division. The Bucs are the only.
Oh, now you're buying.
The Bucs, yeah. I have eyes. I see what's going on. The Saints aren't good. The Falcons don't have a quarterback. Panthers they'd speak for themselves.
He did nothing but attack Shaky Bakey. For how long, Marshy?
Yeah, no, pretty much forever.
And now he's buying.
In ever, Bob.
I'm not buying Shaky Bakey. I'm buying the Bucs.
Is he part of the Bucs? Is he their starting quarterback?
He
Then
is.
You're buying Shaky Bakey. You might as well be buying Shaky Bakey stock.
I don't like what you're doing right now.
Well, I don't like you.
Because you know why I'm buying.
I don't like you just jumping on whenever
The
you
NFC
think
South
you can.
sucks. And you know it. You got to buy them. Stock will only go up because the other teams are just going to keep going down.
That's a good point.
Buy it.
Yeah, I'm buying. I'm a little biased because, they're my middle child. But I'm buying. The division stinks. The conference is mid. And you've got some weapons to surround Shaky Bakey no matter how bad he is.
Yeah. I think I'm going to hold on the Buccaneers. I wrote down buy, but they need to get Rashad White going.
Yes,
he has
they do.
not been good. They need
can't
to
run the ball.
establish a running game because Shaky Bakey can only do so much, and he really can't do all that much, to be honest.
Right.
So you need to establish a run game, which will hopefully, for them, open up the play action, open up that offense, and then you can buy him some time to find some of those elite wide receivers.
Yeah.
So I'll hold on the Buccaneers for now, but that division is not good. So let's move on to the AFC South and the Indianapolis Colts. Buy, sell, or hold?
Oh, sell. Anthony Richardson's likely out for the year.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew, if you watched him play on Sunday against the Jaguars, not great. No, that team is devoid of talent. I think they're well coached, but they're devoid of talent, and they're going to sink from here on forward, I think. So I'm going to sell.
Yeah, I'm selling too while I can before I sink any more money into this bad investment. So I would be selling immediately.
I'm going to sell them as well. And that is only because I am buying the next team, and that is the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just looked up something, or I didn't look it up. I saw it. His numbers compared to Jalen Hurts this year, it's incredible. He's got more passing yards and a better touchdown to interception ratio than Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts has been given a really good offensive line and lots of weapons.
No doubt.
So I'm buying. I'm all over it.
Yeah. I had said, remember when we did like sleepers in the offseason?
I remember.
If you want a deep sleeper, if you want a really deep sleeper, look at the Houston Texans. And you guys laughed.
I made fun of you.
That
just came to my mind for prophecies and, sounded good at the time. And the Texans sounding terrible sounded really good at the time.
I'm going to buy this stock. That's a good team. I had said on Sunday, I think they're better. I think they're a better team than the Saints, and they proved it. They're going to be interesting. C.J. Stroud, if you watch him play, he takes exactly what the defense gives him. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't think you're going to win playoff games that way, but you're going to make things interesting for the wild card mix, that's for sure.
So here's the thing I was looking for. Nick Adams posted this. that C.J. Stroud, 1,660 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jalen Hurts, 1,542 yards, 7 TDs, 7 interceptions.
No kidding.
It's crazy to think that.
He's been great.
We talk about C.J. Stroud. I think we should give some credit to D'Amico Ryans as well. He's been fantastic this year as a head coach, and I feel like no one's talking about him.
They nailed their 2 draft picks. They got C.J. Stroud, and then they traded back up for Will Anderson. Will Anderson's been excellent, too. D'Amico Ryans, his defensive fronts have always been aggressive, and that's been the case for Houston. And that's a team, too, that they really haven't run the ball that well with Dameon Pierce. But to credit C.J. Stroud, man, he's played very well. The defensive, the game plans, everything like that have been excellent.
Let's move on to the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams. Buy, sell, or hold?
Wow. I'm going to hold. I'm going to sell.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just like, it's barely maintaining. One of these guys, something's going to go wrong here soon. I don't have any faith. I'm selling.
I had said that they could be like a top 5 team when it's all said and done. I don't think they get there. You know what? I got to sell too. I don't love that team at all. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford is going to get beheaded at some point. He's got.
Let's hope not.
You like those wide receivers, but they're banged up at running back now. The defense really only has Aaron Donald. No, I gotta sell.
I want to sell them, but with the state of the NFC right now, I could see them going 500 and potentially being a 7 spot in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
somebody's gonna make that 7 spot, right?
I'll hold for right now, but I don't want to, but I will. Next team is the New York Jets. Buy, sell, or hold. Somehow they're 3-3 right now.
Yeah, their defense. Take a good look at the defense, and that's a big part of it. I'm going to hold on the Jets. You know, obviously, a couple weeks ago, I think we all would have bailed. But Zach Wilson is just doing enough, and the defense is playing fantastic. Can that recipe continue to win you football games? I don't know. But if Aaron Rodgers, who looks to be quite a bit ahead of schedule out there with no crutches throwing the football, I understand he hasn't dropped back, he's not under pressure and things like that.
Yeah.
But if the Jets can stay in the 500 range until he may have a chance to return, it might be worth having that stock. So I'm going to hold on that.
Yeah, I'm going to hold too. I mean, you beat the Eagles. You deserve some praise, especially you did not have your top 2 corners. You didn't have Sauce Gardner out there. And you do that against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I'll hold on that. And Zach Wilson, I think, kind of turned a corner against the Chiefs. You know, his teammates have kind of rallied around him a little bit more. Aaron Rodgers coming in and saying, hey, guys, look, we're a team here. I think things have turned a little bit. And Breece Hall looks good again.
I'll hold on the Jets, too. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They have some favorable matchups, but they also have a few tough matchups, and those are coming within their own division. Next week, not next week, I believe they're on a bye, but the following week, they'll take on the Giants. That might be a 3-3 game. Then they play the Chargers. I don't see them winning, even though Brandon Staley is the Chargers head coach. They got the Raiders as well. I feel like that could be a winnable game. But then they take on the Bills, the Dolphins. They have the Dolphins twice. But the rest of the way, I mean, they're playing the Falcons. Who knows what that will bring? The Texans, we mentioned they're a good team. That could be a loss right there. Although, you know, who really knows? Then you got the Browns, the Commanders, and the Patriots. I think those are all winnable games.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll be a 500 team at the end of the year. And if, like Jamie said, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, perhaps they make a run at the playoffs. So.
Right. All right, let's move forward here. I don't know if we have time to sneak in the Sports Six Pack. So why don't we do this? How important is it that the Cards expand their coaching staff? They reportedly want to do it, but how important is it? And how important is it to bring in somebody like Yadier Molina? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hi, thank you for calling Frank Lita Mitsubishi in the Automotive Outlet in Bridgeton.
Do you like scary movies?
No, they don't scare me.
What does scare you?
Big down payments. They make me want to scream.
And at Frank Lita Mitsubishi?
Frank Lita Mitsubishi knows it's a crime to pay more than a dime. Every vehicle, one dime down. Come pick one out.
Maybe I'm already here.
Cool. We're having a spooktacular sales event with 2.99% financing for 60 months.
What if I have scary credit?
If you bring home $350 a week, you could get up to $25,000 in credit.
With just a dime?
Yes, even the new Outlander with third row seating.
Perfect. And I'm right behind you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
At Frank Lita Mitsubishi.
In the Automotive Outlet in Bridgeton.
Elevate your performance. That's right. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. And of course, they are known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. Pure Performance, by the way, they carry any accessory for your vehicle. It doesn't matter if it's an older model or a brand new model. Maybe you have a brand new vehicle and you want to, jazz it up, put some running boards on it, bigger tires, new wheels, whatever. Great. But what if you have an older car that it's a great vehicle, you just want to change the look, you want to add a little something to it? Well, Pure Performance has you covered in every direction. And it's not just Jeeps and Broncos and pickup trucks. No, they service any vehicle at all. You can even accessorize your minivan if you want to. I have seen it done over at Pure Performance, and they do a fantastic job. Please get by the showroom. It's 25,000 square foot facility, and you walk in there and please ask for Shelby. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Shelby's going to get you all taken care of. Trust me when I say that you will not be sorry when you visit Pure Performance. The products are fantastic. The technicians are second to none. And when you show up to pick up your vehicle, you will be blown away. So please get by the showroom. You'll love it. If not, get there online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
How important is it that the Cardinals expand their coaching staff? It's the Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. So one of the biggest player concerns, according to sources that told Katie Wu of The Athletic, was that there simply wasn't enough coaching to go around this past year for the Cardinals. Cardinals finished the year with 10 coaches, not including Marmol, making them one of the smallest staffs in the majors. Jamie, I'm going to kick this to you since you're the only professional athlete in here. How important is it to have enough coaching? You're going to get your positional coaches. You're going to get, depending on the sport, you're going to get your head coach, of course. You're going to get some assistant coaches. You're going to get a power play coach and your special teams coach in your regard. Mm-hmm. But overall, I mean, at what point do you say, I'm not getting enough coaching? Like, is there a certain number? Or?
No, here's what I think it is it's not that you just throw numbers at the situation where you're like, okay, I've got all these coaches to make sure that the players have unique coaching and whatnot. The games at every level, in every sport, major sport, across, not just every professional sport, let's just say it that way, has evolved so much. There's so much going on that the traditional 2 or 3 guys is not enough. It's just not. There's video that you need to be breaking down. There's post-game reaction video, so you're clipping all the things from the post-game. Meanwhile, somebody else is doing the pre-scout for the next game. Mm-hmm. Then the goaltending coach is picking up the goaltender tendencies for the opposition at the same time as going over your goaltenders, giving up the goals or good rebounds, bad rebounds, all this stuff. So much heavy lifting to do that you need more bodies. But you need the right guys, too. Yeah. You can't just have people that are in the way. And so, the Blues added, or they went and got Mike Weber this year, and they added Michael Babcock as a skills/assistant coach. And Michael Babcock is there to pick up the slack wherever there's a certain department that needs help. Like if Steve Ott's working on the power play, which I know they are right now, and he needs more video or another set of eyeballs on something like the whole coaching staff will look at things together, but then maybe they drag off into a group of 2 over here. Like, it's essential nowadays to have the right number of eyeballs on each situation. And then also the personal side of the coaching, because there's so much team stuff that goes into it, because once the season starts, like, the coaching staff is all about wins and losses. Mm-hmm. So the development of a certain player sometimes, it's not that it gets put to the side. It's just that there's not enough hours in a day, even for the athlete. And so it's great to have another coach on staff so that if you're looking to work with Tyler Tucker, a young defenseman promising right now, but there's a certain element of his game or a certain skill that could make him even better, now you have somebody designated to working with these guys. Mm-hmm. And it's not every day. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe it's twice a week. Maybe it's for 10 minutes. Maybe it's for 20 minutes. Like, whatever it is, you have to have somebody that's able to do it. While the major coaching staff, the big guys in the coaching staff, they're handling winning hockey games. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's the team aspect of it and the individual aspect of coaching, and you can't expect the team aspect of coaching to go and handle the development side of it. Right. So you need almost another team of coaches that can do the individual development. Sure. And makes a lot of sense. And Ryan O'Reilly, when he was here, like, it was almost another coach for you. Because he would drag guys off into groups of 5 or 6 and do a whole bunch of different little things and work on certain skills. He's not here anymore. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure that you have somebody. And so that's why everything I'm saying is Blues related. I know this is a Cardinals segment. Yeah, but you're breaking down what professional athletes need. Yeah. And throughout the course of a year. For baseball, I don't understand why you wouldn't add, like, in my opinion, gone are the days of one hitting coach and one pitching coach. Mm-hmm. Because, and I know they have people that are underneath them, and I don't pretend to know how exactly it all works. I'm not going to sit here and do that. BT would be much better at describing that than me. But why wouldn't you have 2 guys at the top of the food chain and then expanding it? There's so many details that go into the game of baseball now. On the pitching side, for sure. Yeah. And on the hitting side, absolutely. So, one guy getting overwhelmed with questions or data or information or changing a swing or working on a specific skill, mm-hmm. I'd have 2 guys that work, in unison, and then I would throw numbers at this stuff, man. I would throw numbers at the hitting coaching position. not so many, so you have so many different opinions.
Yeah.
You have so many people reinforcing the overall opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? You have,
being on the same page.
Soldiers
Right.
that are helping do all the work.
Yeah.
But it's
to
based,
execute the vision.
Yes, it's based off of exactly what your theory is going to be at the top.
I do think you need, especially in today's game, a mix of, we'll call them the old school and new school guys too. Old school, I'm really just referring to guys that have been there and done that. You know, like adding a Yadier Molina, if he was interested, would be incredible. I don't know if he's going to be interested, but adding somebody with that amount of respect within a clubhouse who has done that before, when he speaks, you listen. If he's instructing you on something, you listen. Not that you don't respect the guy that didn't do it, that's giving you good information, but I imagine it comes across a little differently. However, if you are more of an analytics guy, somebody that understands the numbers, you may want somebody to come over and say, this is what's going on with your swing, in the swing path, in 3-2 counts. Maybe your brain works that way.
Maybe your brain shouldn't be, though, too, right? So the flip side of that, and I'm totally with you on this, is maybe let's just say you've got your Dusty Blake, who seems to be more of a numbers guy because he never pitched, wasn't there. Then you've got maybe a Jason Isringhausen, who's right there with him. And all the numbers that Dusty Blake is throwing at you, maybe you're not processing, or maybe you're worried about the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Then you got a guy like Izzy who can say, here, give me the piece of paper and just scratch out all the ones that don't mean squat and say, this one here.
This is what matters to you.
This is what matters. This is what Dusty's talking about.
That's
right
a great
here.
point.
Get rid of all this other shrubbery. Clean it up, and this one or these two things here is what you need to worry about.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? You're looking at Jason Isringhausen, who's done it all. And you're like, you know what? I get it. So he's not telling me to ignore the analytics because I need that to function. That's my thing. He's telling me which analytics are pertinent to what we're trying to do.
Kind of reminds me of Dave Duncan. You know, Dave Duncan had all these notebooks and all these stats and all these things, but Dave Duncan had the innate ability to communicate. Say, hey, listen, live at the bottom of the zone. You know? This guy, you got to be aware that this guy's going to crush a 3-2 curveball. But if you live at the bottom of the zone, you're going to be fine. It's taking the information and simplifying it. But to your earlier point, when you said you also need coaches, certain coaches are going to communicate differently, i.e., they're going to get through differently. We've all had the teacher that might be teaching the exact same thing as the next teacher, but for whatever reason, teacher B gets through to you, teacher A does not. That's the way it goes.
Which is why I always think it's great to have different personalities doing the same job, because everybody learns and performs differently with different information, as well as communicating the same information differently.
Good call. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We've got the Gauntlet next.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, back with you here, joined by my good buddy Stewie. Stewie, something was brought up today about the retail sales report, but you're our go-to guy, so what do we got going on?
You know what, Jamie? It's like a hockey game. Back, forth, back, forth. Well, retail sales came out today, 0.7% higher, much more than expected, showing the economy is resilient, showing people are spending money all over the place. They're not stopping. They're not afraid of the higher interest rates. That means the Federal Reserve may now raise the interest rates again. They're like, what do? We keep raising rates. We try to tell people not to spend money so the prices go down. It's not working as good as they wanted to. So now interest rates went up even more. If you're in a situation where you have credit card debt, home equity line of credit, get rid of it now. You're going to approach 20, 30% interest. Get rid of it now. Consolidate the debt. Improve your credit score. Don't procrastinate. Do it now. We'll refinance later when the rates go down, but at least you'll stay healthy.
When he says now, he means now.
Like
call
right
him
now.
now. We're like right now. Call, text Stewie. You could call or text him because he hands out his personal cell phone number, which is 314-324-4440.
Again, that's 314-324-4440.
Call, text, day, night, doesn't matter. Stewie will get back to you if he doesn't pick up right away. And if you did not get that number, you can always Google
The Bagel Loan.
Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good one, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
Are you thinking about video surveillance to protect your business and employees? Or do your existing cameras provide grainy images that aren't helpful? The team at Mastor can help. Call them today at 314-997-9007 or visit mastor.com.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
All right, time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. We've got Ron as our latest contestant. What's up, Ron?
I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Thank you.
Andrew, you are Batman's father. Just like Luke in Star Wars. Love it.
Wow. I love Star Wars.
Okay, Ron. There you go, man.
He's Killian's father?
I guess.
We got some talking to do here.
Wow.
Not me. Anthony is.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I thought you said Andrew.
I thought you said Andrew, too. Maybe you meant Anthony.
I was like, things just got really awkward.
It's all good, Ron.
Anthony's more of like a Thomas Wayne, right? Because your child's Batman.
Yeah, I get shot.
In the alleyway.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What? That's Batman's story.
It is. You're right. All right.
I gotta fall first. It happens.
Yeah. Yes, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Sorry,
Kid comes Batman. Has a lot of issues, but he, saves people.
No,
so.
what issues?
All right, Ron, would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, or me today?
I want to take on the father of Batman.
Okay.
Anthony.
I was about to say, there's a little confusion there. Yeah. All right. Ron, good luck to you, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Anthony's going to make his way to the Cone of Silence. And Ron, you're going to tell Marshy to spin the wheel, please.
Marsh, spin that wheel.
All right, Ron, what are you hoping for, bud?
I don't hope. If I hope, I'm going to have bad expectations and I'm going to be disappointed. So whatever it happens, right?
No, you're right. How do you feel about, I don't know, random trivia?
Well, let's do it.
All right, well, that's what you got.
By the way, for those watching on YouTube, the Tyler O'Wheel is still out of commission.
It's hurt already. Shocker.
Still on the IR.
Yeah, we got to fix the little tab. I don't know what we did to it, but
We'll figure
This is
it
why
out.
we can't have nice things here in the fast lane. All right, Ron. Each question is worth 2 points if you answer correctly without using the options. If you do use the options and answer correctly, it's worth 1 point. And of course, if you get it wrong, you get 0 points. You ready to go, Ron?
Let's do it, man.
All right, again, the category is random. Question number 1. Name the red supergiant star that is the second brightest star in the Orion constellation. Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Can you repeat that question, please?
Yeah, I will, because my goodness. Name the red supergiant star that is the second brightest star in the Orion constellation.
Well, just give me the options here.
Yeah, I would imagine. Is it Vega, Sirius, or Betelgeuse?
Oh, my gosh. It's not the one I was thinking. Say the three again. I'm sorry. I'll take Orega.
It was Vega, Sirius, or Betelgeuse.
Let's go with Sirius.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. A top 15 busiest airport in the country whose initials are EWR is found in which U.S. state?
My God, Grant's mad at us.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. EWR. Give me the options, please.
Options are Texas, New Jersey, or Florida.
I don't think it's Dallas, Fort Worth. It's let's go New Jersey.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Ron, question number 3. Hepatitis is the inflammation of what organ in the body?
Hepatitis is the liver.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Final question for you, Ron. The Hilltoppers of which university has a mascot named Big Red?
Gosh, Hilltoppers. Give me the options, please.
Options are Georgia Tech, Louisiana Lafayette, or Western Kentucky University.
The Hilltoppers. It's not Georgia Tech. Would you say Louisiana Tech?
There's
the second one?
Louisiana Lafayette or Western Kentucky University. Those are the final 2.
Hilltoppers. Let's go with Western Kentucky.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, that was a doozy.
Wow.
Let's get Anthony back in here. Yeah, Grant.
Jamie, I met you at the NFL Bash. I was the one doing magic tricks. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. I remember I was telling these guys about it the other day because Marshy said he saw you at Cybirds. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him how you had card tricks, and every single time the number 6 came out. It was pretty incredible.
That's right. That was awesome, yep.
Yeah, you're a heck of a magician.
That's fun. I do it for fun.
All right, Anthony, how are you, bud?
Doing great. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for asking.
In the Cone of Silence today, huh?
Yeah, Mike Ryder took off. I don't know where he's at. I'm a little worried because he's always here. So
yeah, I'm sure he's fine. You, on the other hand, pack a lunch.
Okay.
All right? Mm-hmm. You're going to love these questions. Question number 1, random is your category.
Good. I wanted random today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're going to love this. Name the red supergiant star that is the second brightest star in the Orion constellation.
You know, believe it or not, I'm gonna need the options on this one, Jamie.
I know.
Sorry.
All right. Shocking, but still. Is it Vega, Sirius, or Betelgeuse?
Give me Vega. Final answer.
Question number 2. A top 15 busiest airport in the country whose initials are EWR is found in which U.S. state?
New Jersey. It's Newark. I've been stuck there before, and it's bad. I was stuck there overnight. In fact, Jamie, you and I, before we did our first Stalter and Rivers show, I had to drive from Bristol, Connecticut to Newark, and I slept, I think, like 2 hours to get, because that was the only way I could get back home to do our first show together.
You were a true pro, though, Anthony.
Well, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, but fortunately, it helped me out there because I know that airport very well.
Okay, so
Newark.
Is that your final answer?
New Jersey is the state. Final answer on that. Yeah, it's New
Okay.
York. Newark.
All right, question 3. Hepatitis is the inflammation of what organ in the body?
I don't know. Can I have the options, please?
Kidney, liver, or spleen?
Kidney, liver, or spleen? I don't think it's the spleen. So is it kidney or liver? I'll go with liver. Final answer.
Question number 4. The Hilltoppers of which university has a mascot named Big Red?
They play tonight. The Hilltoppers play tonight. Western Kentucky. Final answer. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I didn't know Big Red was the nickname, though.
All right, let's go over this. Question number 2. A top 15 busiest airport of the country whose initials are EWR is found in which U.S. state? Ron, you said New Jersey. Anthony, you said New Jersey. Answer is?
It is New Jersey.
But Ron needed the options. 2-1 Anthony after 1.
You would have got that one, right, Jamie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, oddly enough, yes. Question 3. Hepatitis is the inflammation of what organ in the body? Ron, you said the liver. Anthony, you said the liver. Answer is?
It is the liver.
Nice.
But Ron did not need the options.
Ronnie.
We are all tied up. 3-3 after 2. Let's go to question 1. Name the red supergiant star that is the second brightest star in the Orion constellation. I can't believe both of you needed the options on this. It's such an easy question.
We should have known.
Ron, you said Sirius. Anthony, you said Vega. Answer is?
It is Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Of course.
Yes.
They made a whole movie about it.
They did. Ish. Actually, just watched that movie last night.
Did you?
No lie.
Michael Keaton?
Yep.
Michael Keaton is highly underrated, man.
In that
as
movie?
an actor, and just as an actor,
Yeah.
I think
He
Michael
is
Keaton.
Batman.
Yeah, that's right. He is. He's the original Batman.
All right, guys. We're
Keaton's awesome.
We're 3-3 headed into the last question. The Hilltoppers of which university has a mascot named Big Red? I think you know where we're headed here. Ron, you said Western Kentucky University. Anthony, you also said Western Kentucky University. But Ron needed the options.
Yes.
Ron!
You have chosen poorly.
That was a battle. The answer was Western Kentucky University. Ron, good job, buddy. You got 3 out of the 4 questions right.
Nice work, Ron.
I feel like I just went through college again.
That's what happens when you get random.
Yeah, you guys are great. I love the show, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it.
Ron.
Thanks for listening. Thanks
Take
for
care,
playing.
buddy.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
That was a battle. Ron did well.
That's some tough questions.
Those were
man.
some tough questions.
Very tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Marcia's.
what is going on here?
Grant's
Marcia's
mad.
stunned.
He's sending a message.
I don't blame him. You fired him 9
like-
times now.
It's like cross-checking your teammate
Yeah.
multiple times.
Who would do that?
Well, oddly enough, it happened today.
Should the Cardinals be interested in Juan Soto? He could be available
Another
again.
outfielder. Great.
They need an outfit.
Yeah.
That's the real outfit. That's next on 101 ESPN. was on The Athletic today, and I saw that Jim Bowden Come on, Jamie.
Bobby's brother.
There you go. Might as well just get it out of the way. Jim Bowden, not related to Bobby Bowden, he wrote which teams could be interested in Juan Soto, or at least which teams would be fits for Juan Soto, and he listed 5 of those teams.
Could have had that guy for Dylan Carlson.
Could have had it for straight up, and you passed on it.
Let's get them both.
Get them both. Put them on the same outfield.
9 outfilders. Who doesn't have that?
So here's what Jim Bowden wrote. He said the Yankees number 1, the Red Sox number 2, Seattle Mariners number 3, the San Francisco Giants number 4, and the Cleveland Guardians number 5. So the Cardinals did not make this list, guys.
What?
Yeah. I didn't think they'd be on this list, but hey, let's talk about them anyways. Should the Cardinals be interested in Juan Soto, guys?
I don't know, Anthony.
The answer is yes.
No, the answer's not.
Guy's talented, man.
Anthony.
You want to be interested in talent.
Can he,
he can't pitch.
There you go.
Can't pitch. Not a lick.
I'd rather take the money I'm going to spend on Juan Soto, which is, the number he's going to demand. If you took that money and put it towards a pitcher, you're better off.
You know what I'm doing? I'm acquiring Juan Soto.
Oh, God.
I'm signing him long term, and then that frees me up to trade some guys in the outfield because we have a ton of outfielders, Jamie. And using those outfielders will get me a pitcher.
Yeah, it'll get you Rich Hill.
It's not going to get me Rich
You're right.
Hill.
It wouldn't even get you Rich Hill.
Oh, stop it. You're just being mean now.
You're just being silly, too. Because at the end of the day, we both know, and anybody who's listening knows, that. What do you think Juan Soto commands for a salary? Is he at 25 right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say 30.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
Yeah, but why? Take that 30 and go get yourself a damn pitcher.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
That's the way.
Yes.
That is the path to go.
Right.
But this is such a Cardinals thing. That's like what they would do.
There's no way they would do this.
No, you're right. You're right. There's no way.
This takes way too much huevos rancheros.
Yeah, I don't even think it would call that. I would call it stupidity. As much as I think Juan Soto is a difference maker as far as a player is concerned, it's not that you don't need Juan Soto. You have other needs that are greater than Juan Soto.
Plus, it prevents you from doing anything else. Because it would cost you.
Well, you're screwed. It
would cost you a mint to just get him from San Diego. Then you'd want to pay him because why acquire Juan Soto if you're not going to pay him?
Yeah.
And then that prevents you again from doing some other things.
It might be one of the dumbest things that ever happened if you're the Cardinals. Seriously, unless you're looking to flip somebody else to get some pitching. But who? Like, then do you feel like, at that point, do you feel like, okay, now I can flip Gorman to get some pitching because I've got another big-ass bat, but I'm still paying the bat $30 million.
Or Newt, I would go with the outfield route.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to friggin' pony up for a pitcher, too.
Look, we're just talking here, Jamie.
I know, but sometimes, Anthony, it frustrates me that even things like this are being talked about because I worry that this is how the Cardinals front office is going to be. Squirrel, shiny nickel. Yeah, outfielder. Not necessarily Juan Soto, just...
Are you kidding me? In that same scenario, it would be, there's a squirrel. How fast is he running? Somebody get the data on that. I wonder if that squirrel is running at top speed. How does that squirrel compare to other squirrels within his family?
But, sir, you already have 6 squirrels in your outfield.
Shiny nickel. I wonder what year that nickel is. They're not getting distracted. They're analyzing it. While everybody else is making moves. Look, ultimately, I'm with you, Jamie. Acquiring Juan Soto doesn't make sense.
I would do it if
fun.
he was the missing piece. If you had a pitching staff that was in place and solidified and you needed a big-ass bat in your lineup, then fine. You're going to pay for it. But right now, come on, man.
I don't see how you trade for pitching either.
You have nothing to offer.
I think you have something to offer.
No, you do, but nothing you want to get rid of.
Yeah. Who else? And besides the Mariners, let's just push the Mariners to the side.
Yeah.
Who I don't know why they would give up their young pitching
You
either.
got Dylan Cease that you could go.
You could
go that route.
If the White Sox, I think the White Sox want to build around somebody. But
I
yeah,
think the
could.
White Sox are a good dance partner because they had just had an atrocious year too, and they're looking to rebuild that thing.
And two, Jamie, what's the line of demarcation before you say, you know what, that's too much? Because are you robbing Peter to pay Paul? You're getting a situation. Let's say it is Dylan Cease. I'm not going to push back on acquiring Dylan Cease. I think that'd be great. But if you acquire Dylan Cease, how much of your offense are you giving them?
Well, you're definitely giving them Gorman.
You're definitely giving them Gorman. You know, it's gonna take three impact. It might take 3 impact players to get Dylan Cease.
I don't think it's 3. I think. Listen, I think Gorman's stock is high enough to where if you had one more accent piece with him, I think you have a legitimate conversation. If you're John Mozeliak going like, "Hey, pump the brakes here, okay?"
Yeah.
This kid has got power. He just spent his first full season in the majors. Like, come on.
Yeah. Come on, just give us Dylan Cease.
No,
for
Dylan
Tyler
Cease.
O'Neill. Guy had a great year one year. He did. He had a great year one year.
He did.
MVP caliber year.
Yeah, you wanted to extend him, too.
You wanted to extend him. I said no. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got a Sports Six-Pack next. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, if you want to send us a question, Sports Six-Pack next in the Fastlane. Hey, if you're by a computer right now and you're searching for a vehicle and you have not gone to AutoCentersNissan.com, I don't know what you're doing because they got great deals throughout the month of October. You can also still register to win that brand new Polaris ATV. We saw that puppy a couple of weeks ago when we were down at AutoCenters Nissan Herculaneum broadcasting, and that thing is awesome. So you can register to win that. It's their way, AutoCenters Nissan's way of saying thank you. One way that you can, purchase a new vehicle is online. If you go there, you can search anything and type year, make, model, doesn't matter. You can search it all. And they have 750 vehicles, both new and used, on the lot at down in Herculaneum. One spot. You don't have to drive around the greater Illinois or St. Louis area looking for your next new ride. It's already right there at AutoCenters Nissan Herculaneum. 30-day return promise. Free complimentary lifetime warranty when it comes to new Nissans, and financing options that are for everyone. Good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. AutoCenters Nissan Herculaneum. If you need a vehicle, they got you covered. Tell them Stalter sent you. Out in Herculaneum, McNutt on the hill. It's AutoCenters Nissan Herculaneum.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Rangers defeated the Astros yesterday by a final score of 5-4. They have taken a 2-0 series lead in the ALCS. The Phillies went up 1-0 in the series over the Diamondbacks after a 5-3 win last night. Game 2 is tonight. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6:30. Monday Night Football featured a Cowboys victory over the Chargers, 20-17. We had our NFL stock market earlier in the show. If you missed that, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. It's free. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. On Thursday, we have the Blues taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll be joined by Joe Vitale after the Sports Six-Pack. Speaking of the Sports Six-Pack, if you have a question, send it our way. 314-399-9646. Once again, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
All right, guys, from the 616, what would be needed in 2024 for the Cards to fire John Mozeliak?
Another season just like this year, to where they find themselves out of the playoffs like halfway through the year. And I don't even think they fire him. I don't even think they would fire him in midseason. I think that they would reassign him in the offseason.
I think that it would take John Mozeliak going to the ownership, having a conversation, and both of them coming to terms that he just isn't the right guy anymore to fix the problem. And therefore, he wouldn't be fired as much as he would resign. You know, and maybe I realize I'm getting technical on it, but the point that's buried in there is that I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's going to see out the length of this contract, and that is the next 2 years? Because I think he signed a 2-year extension, right? So
yeah.
He finished out his old contract, and he's got 2 more years. I think he either sees out the rest of the deal, or after if you miss the playoffs again, it's a disaster again. To Jamie's point, maybe it's just a situation where he's being reassigned.
Yeah, or like they just whatever. I don't know.
I don't think you're going to see an outright firing.
I don't think they'll fire him because of what he's been able to do for the organization. I think that he resigns or they reassign him within the organization and put him back in charge of like the scouting or whatnot and promote Michael Gersh to president or something along those lines. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have the whole thing in front of me, but I don't see where they make it a harsh exit for John Mozeliak.
I don't either.
Question number 2.
From the 636, tough question, boys. I have many jerseys. Bortuzzo, Tarasenko, Backus, Oshie. What jersey should I buy and what color should I get? Thanks, huge fan of the show. And let's go Blues.
I didn't hear Rivers in that collection.
Yeah, no kidding. So I think it starts with the Jamie Rivers.
And you got 2 options. You know, you get the number 6 or the number 20, whatever version of Jamie Rivers you like.
I like my Jamie Rivers in his original form.
Yeah. The OG.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 it is. Yeah, so that'd be a fresh start right there.
Absolutely.
But current blue, Anthony.
Did he say Bennington?
No, but I would go with Bennington.
I'd go the big 5-0.
See, I'd go Braden Shen.
What the hell?
I would.
That'd be a great option too.
I mean, Shenner's kind of that guy. Like we talk about how Chief embodies St. Louis. Well, so does Braden Shen. Like tough, in your face, like give you honest effort.
Loyal. Wants to be here.
And he's the captain. Odds of him getting traded anytime soon.
Not high.
You at least get a little bang for your buck on the jersey.
Yeah, true. Good call on that.
Question number 3.
From the 636, guys, fun fact I learned over the weekend is that there are only 3 people that are left-handed to win the Heisman. Question, are any of you left-handed, and do you play any sport with your non-dominant side of your body? Example is, I am right-handed, but I kick a soccer ball and punt a football with my left foot.
So it's weird, I guess, for me because I'm right-handed. I throw football and baseball with my right hand. I play hockey left-handed, though. I don't know if that, I guess maybe because my dominant hand is at the top of the stick, you know? I don't know. I golf left-handed.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's what
and
I do,
and
too.
you swing a baseball bat left-handed.
I do.
I'm the same
Or
exact
softball
way.
bat.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
And swing left. So at what point, my question is, at what point did you realize this?
Realize what?
You're writing right-handed in school.
Yeah.
You're probably eating right-handed. At what point do you say, you know what? I'm going to swing a bat left-handed?
When my brother handed me a bat and showed me how to swing a bat, he swung it left-handed, so I did too.
Okay. That's a good answer.
For golf, my dad was a left-handed golfer. We couldn't afford everybody to have clubs.
That makes sense,
So
too.
we all shared the same clubs, and they were left-handed. So guess what?
You were
I'm a
lefty.
left-handed
Okay.
golfer.
Fair.
I think maybe because for me, like my dominant hand is my right hand. So with a hockey stick, I want my dominant hand on top for
right on the knob.
Right on the knob.
Yeah.
Same with, baseball, right down there on the knob. So it just gives
You
me
usually
better.
can work the top of your stick better with your
Absolutely.
dominant hand.
Absolutely.
It gives you more control when you're twisting it, like especially hockey, when you're using it for poke check. It's always better to have your dominant hand holding the knob, in my opinion, anyways.
I think that's reasonable.
Make a great point.
I'm right-handed for everything. Except for, when I'm in the gym, I've noticed, when you're at the final stages, right? Like you're at the final reps, and the weight's getting a little tough for whatever reason, especially with bench. The left hand, no issues. Poof, and then it's the right hand. I don't know.
Interesting.
I feel like my left side is stronger in the gym, but that's it.
Interesting. We have a text, guys, from 636 says, I have a Jamie Rivers jersey. When I wore it, I broke my ankle in a knocker ball. That's our guy.
That's our guy.
It's a jersey. That's our guy.
Oh, man. How's the rehab coming?
I don't know. He's obviously
remember he said
got his sense of humor back.
Yeah. He never the sense of humor was there too, even as his foot was dangling off his leg like that. Remember? He goes, guys, I don't think this looks good. Jamie, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, not quite like this.
You're gonna be fine though.
I didn't know what to say at the time. Poor guy.
Yeah. Poor guy's right.
Question number 4.
From the 314, hey, Jamie, if you were in the NHL right now, who would you love to be paired with? Who would your all-time defensive pairing be?
So me and somebody else? Is that what the question is?
What I'm
Or-
gathering is who would be your defensive partner
Yeah.
in the NHL right now?
Yeah.
If you were in it. And who is your favorite all-time defensive pairing?
Oh, wow. Okay, so many options here. If I was in the NHL, I'd love to play with Cale Makar. I have a feeling that he'd make my life pretty easy.
I would think so.
Where he skates, shoots, passes the puck. I just have to get the puck over to him and just not get myself in trouble. That's about it. So that'd be fun, play with him. And all-time defense pairing, I mean, God, so many great pairings. Like you got Nick Lidstrom and Vladimir Konstantinov when he was in his prime. Like, Dad, those guys were animals. Chelios and Lidstrom together in Detroit. McInnes and Pronger, although they were never really a pairing. But still, imagine if they did play together at times, obviously power play, and when the game was on the line, they'd be out there.
Yeah.
So Pronger, McInnes, that's a hell of a pairing too. Bobby Orr and Don Orey was his partner. I know that's crazy. So many great defensemen over the years. All time, probably be Pronger and McInnes. Really, you get two powerhouses like that together. Even though Lidstrom and Konstantinov were so friggin' good together too.
Who was on Brian Leach's? Who was his defensive partner?
He had a couple of different guys. Like he had Bukaboom that played with him for a while, just to keep the flies off of him.
Electric man.
Yeah, I can't remember who else played, but Leachy was kind of a one-man band on the Rangers. They had a good team, obviously. They won the Cup in 94. But, yeah, man. If I had more time, I could probably dig even deeper into different rosters because the Canadians had so many powerhouse teams in the day. And
do you have one more, Marsh?
One more.
All right.
Question number 5.
From a 314, when hiring a new coach, do you prefer coaching experience and or playing experience, or does that matter?
I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. When I'm hiring a coach, I want somebody that's confident in his ability to get his message across, whatever that message may be. And preferably, I want everybody to be on the same page. So ownership, coaching, then his coaching staff, I want that cohesion, that synergy there. But you have to be able to communicate to your players and your staff what it is that you're doing. I also want somebody that's going to be adaptable and is not afraid to push back against whoever I have in place as a GM or a president that's calling the shots from a front office standpoint.
Yeah.
I think a little friction is good. As long as the overall vision is still there and those two guys are on the same page. Like Army and Chief are a perfect pairing. The vision is there. They don't mind going back and forth on players. And I think that sort of friction is good.
Yeah. So if I'm looking for a head coach, I lean towards former player more so. There could be other coaches that are very, very good at what they do. But right or wrong, in your opinion, I look at it as, has this individual walked a mile in my shoes?
Sure.
And when I talk about a former player, I usually like a former player that played in a bit of a different era, but has adjusted to the modern game as a coach.
That's a good way to put it.
So Craig Berube is a good example of that, too. There are a lot of guys that are in that category. Rick Tocchet, all these guys that are good coaches. But the reason I do that is because I know that he can adapt.
Yeah.
It's not just one style of hockey, and it's not trapped in the 70s or in the 80s.
Sure.
So, but I always believe that a coach that has played, it doesn't have to be in the NHL either, by the way. So let me make that clear. It could be college, could be junior hockey, something like that, to where at least the individual knows what you're going through, understands in certain parts of the game when it got hairy. Why did it get hairy for you? Why did you make a good decision? Why did you make a bad decision?
Yeah.
If you're a goal scorer, you've gone 10 games without a goal. How does that feel? Well, you know how it feels in practice. So for me, it's always been an important part.
There you have it. Joey Vitale is going to join us next. We'll get his thoughts on the Blues' first two games here on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, if you are looking for fun, head over to FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. They've got so many great things going on over there. And during NFL season, they've got great promotions. And the one that I love is for all our newcomers. New customers who sign up get $200 in bonus bets. That's guaranteed by FanDuel. All you have to do is place a $5 bet. So again, to get your $200 in bonus bets, simply sign up, place a $5 bet, and you get those bonus bets whether you win or lose.
Then you can take advantage of the spreads, the player props, the over-unders, the Super Bowl futures. You've got a full slate coming up in the NFL. Don't want to miss it. Go to FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. And then you can take advantage of the offer, the promo offer that James just read off to you at FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over in President, Illinois. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at
Joey Vitale views things a little differently. Just imagine how he looks at hockey. Whoa. This is The View from Vitale, brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We have our guy Joey Vitale on the line right now. A couple of days off for Joe as the Blues are off. What's up, Joe?
Hey, fellas, doing good. I love these little 15-minute chats. Gets me out of the house for a little bit. It's like a war zone in there right now.
Oh, I'm sure. What's the number with the kids now? 12, 13?
13.
13 or so?
We're at 5. I'm hoping for some more. I said to my wife the other day, maybe more. And you should have seen the death stare she gave me. I think a couple horns may have popped up behind her ears, too.
Yeah, Joey, never mind having more babies. She might never touch you again.
Listen. Well, another day for this conversation. I almost went down a really bad road. But yeah, no, it's like a war zone in there right now, and everyone's arguing about Halloween costumes and who's going to be what. It's like a thing nowadays. These kids that go as groups. So everyone's a group, but then if one of my sons, they're all being Top Gun characters, but everyone wants to be Maverick. No one can agree on who's going to be Maverick or Goose or Iceman. And then my daughter, Summer, she's a Care Bear, and now they got girls bickering about who's going to be the Green Care Bear. I'm just like, whatever happened in the good old days, you put a sheet over your head, you were a ghost.
Yeah. No, you're right, Joey. Things have gotten very complicated.
Too much. Too much. And then you go to Halloween Spirit Store and you drop about $300 on 3 costumes. It's absolutely insane. I can't put it together anymore.
Yeah, these companies know what they're doing. They're open for just 1 month, but they rake. Joey, we did get a question the other day on the text line. Joey's bread versus Randy's carrot cake.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jamie and I both go, Randy's carrot cake because we've never had Joey's bread. Now, once have you brought us any bread?
No, not ever.
Not ever.
Listen. Let me save you the suspense. It's gonna be Randy's carrot cake no matter what. So you don't even need to have any of my bread, and it's automatically Randy's carrot cake. I'm gonna make you guys some bread. The tough thing about sourdough bread is like you gotta stay on it. I gotta feed my starter every day, and every now and then I'll get a little lazy or we travel and I can't feed it, so I put it in the fridge. And one good thing about baking cakes is you can just kind of whip them up the day of. But the sourdough is a little bit more of a process. Anyone who make sourdough bread, they'll tell you it's a labor of love, and you got to stick with it every single doggone day. So sometimes I get out of rhythm. But guys, I promise you, I'm going to make you some bread, and we will have a debate. But again, I promise you one thing: it's going to be Randy's carrot cake that takes the cake every time.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Well, speaking of debates, there has been lots of different opinions throughout the day on the Blues' choice to elevate Alexei Toropchenko in the lineup rather than someone else, namely Jake Neighbors. Joey, in the first couple of games, your thoughts on Alexei Toropchenko as well as Jake Neighbors, and do you think the promotion was warranted for Toropchenko?
I think so. I mean, listen, I think that, Craig Berube is going to try to see how Torovchenko does. I think worst case scenario, maybe it doesn't pan out the way you were hoping, and you go right back with a Jake Neighbors. And I would say Torovchenko was on a bit of a short leash with that. Whenever you have a third, fourth line player go up and play top line minutes, the leash is always short. I mean, that's just the reality. So I think to start Torovchenko there, I think he's done more to earn it. I think that you look over the last couple of years, you know what you're going to get out of him. I think that for Robert Thomas, and I also think for Jordan Kyrou, those two players, I think that they really will thrive off having someone who is extremely responsible, 200 foot. I think the one edge, aside from being physical, that I think that Torovchenko brings over Jake Neighbors is, I think that's the reality about his 200-foot game. I think it's more solidified than I think of Jake Neighbors. I think Jake Neighbors is still trying to figure that out a little bit. And I think with Thomas and of course, Kyrou, who are very offensive-minded players, you need someone over there who is very dependable and is aware of things defensively. Torovchenko, I've heard it from the coaches, he's so good about, understanding having a third guy high, tracking back extremely hard. He does mimic in a lot of ways a Pavel Buchnevich type of game. So I do think that is the best fit for those three up top, for the two rather up top, with Kyrou and, of course, Thomas, because of the 200-foot game and just the overall responsibility of what Torovchenko brings. But, again, I say that with a caveat because, as we all know, he's going to be on a short leash, and whenever Craig Berube doesn't see something he likes come Thursday, Jake Neighbors is a great man to have in your back pocket to kind of throw up there for some good shifts.
Joey Vitale is alongside Chris Kerber on the Blues Radio Network here on 101 ESPN. He joins us right now in the Fast Lane. Joey, the defense, we kept talking about the defensive structure, the system. How's it going to get better with the same group? What have you seen thus far in the first two games?
Well, I mean, it's definitely tighter. I think that there's an overall team commitment to defend. You have guys high in the offensive zone. Everyone is tracking back. Everyone realizes that for this team really to give themselves the best chance this year, they're going to have to play defensive first hockey. When you get to the defensive zone, things are kept to the outside. They are giving away some point shots. You are giving away some puck possession walls, but you're putting confidence in your goalie that he's going to make the save, and so far he has. So all in all, you have back-to-back opening games that finish off 1-1, which is great. You end up getting 3 out of 4 points. Perfect. The big question mark for me now is going to be how long can this team sustain this? How long are they willing to play this style? I mean, Jamie, of course, you would be a part of this. You would see teams like this, and the reality is they're tying these games 1-1. They've only scored 2 goals in 2 games, and now you're looking at it: are the players, are the forwards going to get a little antsy? Are they going to want to get a little jumpy? Are they going to want to start taking more chances? Right? What happens when 3, 4, 5 games in and maybe Robert Thomas doesn't have a goal or Braden Shen's line still has a goose egg, whatever it is, right? You worry about, can these players continue to play this selfless style of winning these games, 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 in overtime, if they're not getting their candy, if they're not getting their points. That's the concern. And it's not the Blues' concern. It's everyone's concern. I mean, you have a Robert Thomas making $8+ million, and you got players making a lot of money, and what's the show for it besides the wins? I mean, yes, the most important thing is to win, and you really hope that this group can keep it together, and the leadership group can take that message from Craig Berube and say, no, this is continually the style we're going to play with. This is the winning formula, and are they willing to continue to do that even though they're winning some low-scoring games? To me, that's going to be the big question.
Talking about low-scoring games, you get the 1-1 games that both go to the shootout, and a big part of the reason for that is Jordan Binnington. What have you thought about old Binner so far this year, Joey?
Well, I think he's been great, and I think that the team's played incredible in front of him. You look at Jordan Binnington over the last 5 seasons, from the numbers standpoint, if we're just talking raw numbers, I mean, the reality is this. His numbers have gotten worse every single year he's been in the league. So I think a lot of people would say, wow, what's happening to Jordan Binnington? Well, I don't think anything's happened to Jordan. I think the team in front of him has gotten more and more lackadaisical defensively each and every year. I mean, you lose Pietrangelo, then you lose Bouwmeester, right? And then it just kind of keeps piling upon. Then all of a sudden your captain O'Reilly's gone. A lot of defensive players have left this system, and the system has taken a big downfall, and that's why his numbers have looked so bad. What do I think of him as a goalie? I think he's always had the magic. I think he's always had the confidence and the swagger. He's always had the fundamentals, the flexibility, the competitiveness. He's had it for the last 5 years. He's been this goalie for the last 5 years. He just unfortunately hasn't had the team in front of him that has not allowed so many grade A chances like he's seen so far this year. So the numbers look great for him, but this is the same goalie and this is the same system basically that when he came in 2019 that he's looking at. He played behind a Jay Bouwmeester and an Alex Pietrangelo type. Carl Gunnarsson was so steady. I mean, Joel Edmondson was there. I mean, a ton of just great defending structured teams in front of him throughout that first season and a half. And unfortunately for him, the team has kind of fallen off and gotten away from that defensive structure. And now we're looking at the same goalie, if not even better, more seasoned, more experienced, but a great team in front of him. So it kind of goes to show you keep things to the outside, you allow him to see point shots and shots from the end walls and the corners. He's going to make those saves, and his numbers are going to be terrific. And, again, this is where if you can get him some confidence, get him some wins, and continue to keep things to the outside and play this good system, Jordan Binnington's going to shine. I mean, his numbers are going to continue to skyrocket. He's going to flourish. He's going to get some wins, and it's going to be really good for him this year. But, again, can this Blues team continue to defend and have that same structure game in, game out?
Joe, good stuff as always, man. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, boys. You guys have a great week.
You too, thanks. That's Joe Vitale here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We're not getting any of that bread, man.
I know. I felt like he was holding back on us there, too.
I also thought he was being serious and realistic.
He conceded the competition just so he wouldn't have to bring us bread.
Yeah, which I think really says it all. I think we have our answer.
I think that hurts more than anything.
I agree. Yeah, like, I'll just eat the carrot cake. Look,
see
we'll
Joey
eat the
all the
carrot
time.
cake.
I travel with Joey. Maybe that's why he won't bring us bread.
You guys have become best friends.
Maybe not.
Maybe you thought so.
I thought so, yeah.
It's just
we
tough.
even had a really nice dinner in Dallas. All these things. We're having lots of fun.
You know what? I'm too depressed. I think we'll just skip the punishment this week in the NFL Pick'em Challenge.
Yeah. No, I want to see it.
All right. What's trending is next, and maybe we'll do that too here on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, sometimes when you get older and you just don't quite have the same mojo and all that, it can be kind of depressing. You always think back, oh, wow, man, what the old days, back in the day. What if I told you that we could go back in the day right now?
Yeah, I'd call you a filthy liar.
Yeah, well, I'm not, because I headed over to Mentality, and they sat down with me, asked me what was going on, what was wrong, what I didn't like, what I did like, all these things. And then what they did is they did a blood panel, full blood panel. And the results don't lie. I was low in testosterone, which, by the way, as you know, happens to men all the time. Mm-hmm. Everybody goes through it. But Mentality's got the solution for you, and it's specific to the individual. I've never felt better.
Yeah, so I used to listen to spots similar to these like 10 years ago, right? When I first started on 101 ESPN, back when I was 30. I think I got my first on-air job here when I was 30, and I listened. I'm like, yeah, it's not going to be me. I take care of myself. I also take care of myself now because I go to Mentality. And when it comes to Mentality, yeah, just like Jamie described, you go in, you tell them how you're feeling. They're going to ask you a bunch of very easy questions that if you're honest with them about how you're feeling, and if you go to Mentality, you're listening right now, you're listening to Jamie telling you that him and I both were, feeling down, feeling lethargic. I mean, you used to crush coffee all the time. You used to crush the energy drinks. It was daily. I don't see any coffee for you. You're drinking water. I'm drinking water. The energy levels through the roof. We feel great. That's the key. You got to do something about it, though. Don't be the person that's like, it'll be fine, and then feel like crap. Why don't you feel good and say, I'm going to take care of her right now by going to Mentality?
Yeah, get in there, tell them that Anthony and Jamie sent you, and you can get a bunch of answers, too, online. All you got to do is visit them at lowtusa.com. Again, that's our friends at Mentality at lowtusa.com.
going on in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered with what's trending now.
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill and get a Lion's Choice sandwich coupon.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Uh-oh. Jamie has the punishment
You didn't
in
have to
hand.
make such a big deal out of it.
It's gotta be
You psychopath.
Gotta have a big entrance, Anthony.
Is that thing firing?
Oh, boy.
Yes. Good. Oh. There we go.
All right.
We're good.
Yeah, Jesus.
Shall we do it?
Yes.
Yeah, Marcia, you're going to have to play with the camera.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
All right, I'm going to back up a little bit so that I'm not literally a foot behind
There's nothing like getting
Anthony.
10 points correct and still having a big punishment.
You're right. Getting 10 picks correct and still being punished is kind of unfair. You're not wrong. Marcia, I know you're whittling around with the camera. How we doing?
We look great.
All right, here we go.
All right, so Anthony Stalter about to take his first punishment shot here in 3, 2.
Oh, you got
No, I didn't. Where?
like upper back or lower back.
Lower back?
Oh, man.
I was aiming lower.
We got to get that sight fixed.
Yeah, I was aiming lower.
Oh, that was good.
It might have hit your belt, though.
I wish it did.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah,
Right.
that went lower back.
Sorry about that.
Hey, that's okay.
Anthony, that's what you get for getting 10 picks right and the Monday Night Football.
And the Monday Night Football, right?
Anthony, that hurt me more than it hurt you.
Man. That stung a little. I'm
sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Hey, we won. That's the only thing
We
that
did.
matters. So
Absolutely.
punishment fulfilled.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, let's get to it, gentlemen. Trevor May, now former pitcher for the Oakland Athletics.
This was great.
This was unbelievable.
Will never pitch again for the Oakland A's as long as their current owner is involved.
I don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares either after what he just said today.
Anyways, here's a little snippet of what he had to say about the owner. Take a listen.
Now that it's official, to the A's organization and every single person part of it, I love all of you. Every single one of you except for one guy. We all know who that guy is. Sell the team, dude. I tried to get a sell shirt. It didn't get here fast enough. Sell it, man. Let someone who actually takes pride in the things they own something. There's actually people who give a shit about the game. Let them do it. Take mommy and daddy's money somewhere else. And also, if you're gonna just be a greedy, own it. There's nothing weaker than being afraid of cameras. So that's one thing I really struggled with this year, was not just eviscerating that guy.
Oh, wow.
So the guy he's talking about is John Fisher, the Oakland A's owner. And Trevor May, probably just saying what most of the players on the A's want to say. Former A's have said similar things. Chris Bassett, who's now pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays, has said similar things about the A's owner. He's spot on. If you don't want to invest in your team, don't own a Major League Baseball team. Take it someplace else.
He is.
A well, I don't mean
Anthony.
I walked right into that. My bad. I don't mean take the team someplace else. I mean take your money someplace else. This is sacred ground here.
Yeah.
When it comes to baseball.
Is this the guy that owned the A's in the 90s, too?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I could be. I said no like I knew. I don't know. I highly doubt it.
Because they were, that was a really good team.
Yes.
So I don't know. Look at... The ownership should be better.
No, that was not. That was Walter A. Haas Jr.
It's a good
who owned
name.
him in 89.
Ownership has to be better. I mean, you got to provide at least an adequate workspace for your employees.
Mm-hmm.
And, based on reports that I've read, everything is skimped on.
Oh, sure. And he's been there since 2005.
Yeah.
This is why, Moneyball was created.
Well, it was out of necessity.
Right. We can't spend. Now, they did have pitching, and that was the thing that was overlooked in the movie, blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line is they couldn't spend big to make it work. Certainly not to the level of what the Yankees were doing. So they went a different way. But they went a different way because they had to. Because the ownership group was so cheap. Get into something else. Every owner should be allowed to make money. You own the team. But there does have to be some sort of, I don't know, competitive spirit to all of this.
There's got to be some kind of, hope.
Right. You're putting a minor league team on the field and slapping the A's on their chest.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're ready to, come on. So Trevor May, well done. I'm glad somebody said it.
I wonder what it's going to be like when that team moves to Vegas, how much he's going to change it, if he's going to change it.
That's that last part that you just brought up. I wonder if it's going to change at all.
Probably. He'll probably do a Stan Kroenke.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but does he have Kroenke money, this guy? Or is he barely an owner? Is he one of those guys that owns a team but barely owns it type thing, to where it's like he spent every dime he had to buy the team? I don't know what his net worth is or what he does or anything like that. Like Kroenke, he sewered the team here, but he had more money than you-know-what.
Right.
He just chose not to spend it.
Until he could get out to L.A. Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead, Marsh.
We talked about the Colts earlier in the show with the NFL stock market. Unfortunately for the Colts and Anthony Richardson, he's most likely done for the year.
Yes,
which stinks.
That's a shame because he was off to such a good start. Unfortunately, you could tell right from the first game, though. And this was this was a shoulder injury, an AC joint injury. But right from the first game, when he was running, he was trying to make a play. And he was running in the end zone. He had 9 defenders in front of him, took a big shot, and had to come out. And then in the second game, I think he suffered a concussion early in the first half, and Gardner Minshew had to come in. You don't want one of your young, for him, I don't want him to have some injury-riddled career. For the NFL's sake and the Colts' sake, you don't want this young, promising rookie to have all kinds of injury problems. So it's a shame. It winds up being a bust of a year for a rookie that, at least through the first parts for the first couple of games, has showed a lot of promise. But now build around him. You know what you have.
True.
Or you think you know what you have.
Do you think that his playing style will lead to more injuries?
At this rate, yes. I don't know how it couldn't. Jalen Hurts runs, but he protects himself. And a lot of those designed runs are actually better because you can see when the contact is about to come. Lamar, the last couple of times, has actually been injured in the pocket. Not seeing defenders around his legs or, thinking he can escape and he's got a defender barreling down on him. I actually think that happens more. But you don't, to your question, Marcia, you don't want to be the quarterback that is looking for that contact constantly. Run out of bounds, man. It's a tough league and it's a long year. You don't have to always show. If it's the Super Bowl, look what Patrick Mahomes did on a bad ankle. He wasn't going to come out. He was going to play. He was going to play in the title game. He was going to play in the Super Bowl. He was going to do. That's when you show your toughness, man. But week 2, when you could go out of bounds and save yourself, as opposed to going into a 250-pound linebacker. Just go out of bounds, man.
That's a rookie move, though.
It is. You're right. All right, that's what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We'll play Are You Sold next.
One stream, bringing together internet, advanced.
For over 80 years, the Landau family has been providing the best prices and award-winning service here in St. Louis. At Landau Chevrolet, buying a car is definitely more than just a price tag. From the moment you walk onto the lot, until you drive off with your brand new or pre-owned vehicle. That's what it's all about. The Londoff team, they want to treat you like family. I know this because I've been a customer for over 20 years, and not only do I feel like I'm a friend, I do feel like I'm part of the Londoff family. And when you're buying a car with Londoff Chevrolet, it's not just to get a car sold. They want this to be an amazing experience for you so that your family, your friends, and everybody you know become part of the Londoff family as well. And they've got 2 great locations available to you now. The original located in Florissant, Missouri, and the new Londoff Autoplex located out in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. Both locations got great inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. Both have state-of-the-art service centers, and both locations are just filled with awesome representatives that are there to make your buying experience perfect. So please stop by, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. But if you can't get there in person, it's pretty easy. Get there online at Londoff.com or LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, you got some Are You Sold questions for us today.
I certainly do. We were talking about Aaron Nola earlier in the show. We also mentioned him yesterday about that 8-year deal that he denied before the season started. So are you sold on Aaron Nola staying with the Phillies?
I am. Yeah, I'm sold on it. I think he will stay with the Phillies. I think that this is a situation, what he said earlier today or yesterday about how he was there in the lean years, in the rebuilding years. Now you want a jet when your team is absolutely loaded for bear? I don't think so. And he grew up in that organization. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I'm going to say yes. I am sold that he's going to go back to the Phillies.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It doesn't sound like a guy who wants out. Openly talking about it right now, which is a negotiation faux pas.
Right.
If you're a player, openly talking about how he'd like to stay with the Phillies. I think it's a done deal. I think what they do is they end up meeting somewhere around the 6-year mark, and they pump up the AAV a little bit to keep him happy, and
sure,
everybody stays in the relationship together.
Yep, I agree.
Are you sold on Jake Neighbors being more than just a bottom 6 forward?
I don't think he's a top 6. I never did.
Yeah.
Never did. I thought that he...
undebatable.
He projects to be at high end, a top 9 guy, like third line forward. He's got the ability. Like, we're two games into the season here, and Jake Neighbors, he got hurt last year. He came back, had a good finish to his season. The fourth line is not his peak. And I know some people are getting impatient, or they think that, oh boy, that's not the player we thought he was going to be. Like, give me a break. Pump the brakes a little bit here, guys.
Yeah.
One, Craig Berube and the Blues want to let him develop at a good pace. I'm just going to throw him into the deep end right away. But we just talked to Joey Vitale earlier, and he talked about how, look, there's going to be short leash on Alexei Toropchenko. I think you're going to get multiple people that get looks on that Braden Shen line. I think you're going to get Toropchenko, you'll get Neighbors, Sammy Blais might go there, Neighbors might go up to the Hayes line. Like, who knows, right? So I think that Jake Neighbors is going to be an NHL player for a very long time. I think that he might crawl into a second line at some point, but I believe his future is on the third line. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. You make a very good living. He's going to be a hell of a player, and he'll be a big part of the process here for the Blues.
Sure. I don't dispute that whatsoever. So I'm with you, Jamie.
Are you sold on a Phillies-Rangers World Series?
I mean, I think you have to be, right?
Pump that into my veins, baby.
I think you have to be. The way that those two teams are locked in right now, you start off with, okay, one, do they have the pitching? Yes, on both sides. Do they have the bullpens? Well, you kind of thought that the Phillies, and more so the Rangers' pen, would be issues. Has not been at all. Do they have, do they hit home runs consistently? I think the Phillies are about to tie the 2017 Houston Astros for number of home runs.
But what happened in 2017 to give that team so many home runs, Anthony?
They had some help. Yeah, they had some help. So the Phillies will do it in a legit way this time. And then I think they are 4 off from one of the Yankees World Series teams. So the Phillies are hitting home runs. The Rangers are offensively sound. So yeah, I think you have to like it. Houston does not have the overall pitching this year that they have in the past. And we could talk about, having Justin Verlander. Okay, great. They do have Justin Verlander. After that, though, it's kind of suspect. And Arizona, boy, this has been a magical ride. It's just it
kind of came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere, but, it's time. It's time for you to go home now.
Oh, wow.
For Game 3 and Game 4.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Before getting swept by the Phillies.
Yeah. Think it's a sweep?
Yeah, I do.
Are you sold on the amount of media coverage that Connor Bedard is getting right now?
Yeah, I don't like it, but I understand it, if that makes any sense. You've got a young superstar in the making, and your sport has done nothing but talk about him for the last 1.5 to 2 years. And then he goes to a massive market, the Blackhawks, just by chance, because, it was never rigged or anything. But he, I think Taylor Hall was, Taylor Hall was a first rounder of the Edmonton Oilers. He got a lot of press too, certainly playing in a Canadian city. But he was talking about it the other day to the media, and he's like, yeah, I think it's a little too much right now, but he's got a level head on his shoulders, and, we're going to get used to having this media coverage around. And anyways, I said it, a week ago, where they better have people in place to protect the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he goes on a couple of games where it's not going well and he's got 25 microphones in front of his face every single game, the kid's a hockey player. Yes, he's an ambassador to your sport, and certainly an ambassador for the Blackhawks right now to try and get that franchise back up on its feet. But you still have to remember that this kid has to go out and perform and play, and you don't want to damage the kid so that 2 years down the road he's just burnt out from all of this craziness.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see how the Blackhawks handle that. It is a bit much right now, but the schedule lined up that way too. First game of the year plays against Sidney Crosby, who's not tuning in, who's not getting in this kid's face, asking him about it. Then a couple of games later, he's playing, then he plays the Boston Bruins.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's playing in Toronto.
Yeah. All road games, too. Chicago started
all road games. So imagine the media craziness that was in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot for the young man right now. I hope that the team steps in and gives him some breaks from time to time. 3 days with nothing, kind of hide him. He's got a little something he's icing down today.
Right.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
We get one from the 314. If Nola stays with the Phillies, are you sold the Cardinals can fix the rotation enough to win in 2024?
Define win.
I was just about to say that.
Define win. Do I think they can fix the rotation enough to win the NL Central? Yeah, because the Brewers, I mean, we always say this at this time of year, but the Brewers do look like they're going backwards. The Reds are intriguing, but you got to prove it. And then you've got the Cubs are good. Pirates are not. Yeah, I think you could fix it enough to win the division. Beyond that, no. I don't think you're going to fix it enough to make some serious run. I mean, look what the Phillies have. Look what the Braves have. The Dodgers are going to they didn't spend a dime last year, comparatively speaking. You think they're going to sit on their hands this offseason after being bounced in the first round by the Diamondbacks or the second round?
I'm anxious to see if the Dodgers sign Ohtani just because.
That was always the team I thought he'd go to.
Yeah, but now even though he can't pitch for a year,
still,
I think they're the team that'll do it.
I do too.
Are you sold that Mizzou can beat Georgia without Brock Bowers?
So it's a huge loss for Georgia. That's their stud tight end. Am I sold that they can beat him without Brock Bowers? No, but I've been wrong about Mizzou all season thus far. So, and I'll gladly be wrong if they do go into Athens and beat them between the hedges. That'd be fantastic. I am sold that they're going to give them a game. I think that's where we're at with Mizzou this year. I think they can move the ball. Cook has been fantastic with the explosive plays. I worry about the overall speed defensively. I got fooled by the early schedule with that defense. I thought they were fast and aggressive, and as soon as they played LSU, you're like, oh, they're not fast at all. Holy smokes. The front is pretty good, but their linebacking core is young right now, a little bit raw, and I think they can get faked by a lot of what LSU did. So, I'm not sold they beat Georgia. I am sold they give them a game.
Yeah, they're not going to beat Georgia. I don't care who's out of the lineup right now. But I'm more optimistic that it's not going to be a blowout or embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that down the line, they give Tennessee a heck of a game too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be very optimistic about with Mizzou. Beating Georgia is a bit of a reach, though.
Are you sold that the Blues power play will be better than it was last season?
Yes, I am. It has to be. Not a great start in the first couple of games, but we're 2 games in. And in fairness to anybody who's doubting it, there's no reason to. I have nothing to sell you because they haven't generated scoring chances. They haven't been good on zone entries. Their breakouts have been somewhat sloppy. But this team has to be better than they were last year on the power play. There's no way they're as bad as they were last year.
All right, there you have it.
Please.
Please don't. All right, that was Are You Sold? We will give you the results of the Build Your Sleeper team. Did Marsh tie Jamie and I, or did Jamie and I take a lead? So we got that, plus biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN.
If you're in the market for replacement windows, please head over and see my friends at Window World. Window World is a preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. It's also one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Also ranked #1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler Magazine. Why are they earning all these accolades? Couple reasons. One, they have a double-strength glass that gives it a strength that's not commonly found in replacement windows. So that means less breakage and better efficiency. That's for sure. They also offer a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and the labor. And the second part of all this is the customer service is fantastic. They pride themselves on making sure that the product is great and that the service is spectacular as well. So please don't hesitate to give them a call and tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number is 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. Or you can look them up at windowworld.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Rangers take a 2-0 series lead over the Astros with a win last night, a 5-4 victory. The Phillies defeated the Diamondbacks in game number 1, 5-3. They'll take on the Diamondbacks tonight. Game 2, pregame starts at 6:30. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Week 6 of the NFL came to a close with Monday Night Football as the Cowboys defeated the Chargers 20-17. And the Blues will take on the Arizona Coyotes on Thursday. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We talked earlier today with Joe Vitale. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com, or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We will get the results from our Build the Sleeper team, and we'll have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. All right, Marsh, you got the numbers for us?
I certainly do, Anthony.
What's this, the sleeper picks?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not even
So
gonna pay attention.
Jamie won the first week.
There's no point in me even paying attention to this. Boy, was I bad. Yeah.
Jamie won the first week. I won last week. Did Marsh get on the board? Let's find out.
Well, coming in third place, the man who will not be paying attention with 22.34 points, Jamie Rivers.
So
my guys stayed asleep.
They certainly did. Yeah. So his picks.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, 6.84 points. Jonathan Taylor, 11.5. And Tutu Atwell with 4.
Okay,
so trying, sir. Better luck next time.
Well, Jamie, in your defense, you did say as we opened the segment, I forgot about this.
Well, I
quote, I forgot about this.
I did.
Yeah.
I totally forgot, and then I was like,
You're going to be better this week. I know it. I feel it in my bones.
I hope so.
All right, so did Marsh tie us with 1 win apiece?
With 39.38 points compared to 35.72.
It was close.
I have picked up my first victory of the
Marshy.
year.
Attaboy,
Nice
Andrew.
job, kid.
Thank you.
Did Dak put you over the top last night?
Dak Prescott, 24.88
Nice.
points. Amari DiMercado, 2.7. Jordan Addison, 11.8. And Anthony, you had Geno Smith with 10.92.
Boy, another touchdown there, Geno. And
you win.
And I win. Thanks, Geno.
Foreman had 7.7. And Zay Flowers actually picked up the majority of your points with 17.1.
Makes sense. He found the end zone. So, all right, good stuff.
So we're all knotted up
at 1. Yeah, we'll do this again on Friday.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Jamie will participate this time.
That was coming off the heels of the first game of the season.
Yeah,
Get
a lot
back
going
in
on.
here. Yeah. I forgot all my stuff, remember?
I do.
It's all in my other bag. And
Was that the day you were wearing the different headphones, too?
Yes.
Yeah. So Jamie was off his game. Honestly, Marsh, we took advantage of Jamie.
We did.
You did. You guys should be ashamed
we
of
should
yourselves.
take advantage of Jamie.
I mean,
He's a genius, though. His picks, though. No issues with the picks, fortunately.
No, we need that.
I got those in at the wire, too, last week. You have to stay on top of...
Oh, yeah, I had to text you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked Thursday night. I was doing the Gridiron Gang. Gridiron Gang, it's a movie. Gridiron Guys podcast with Carrie, and I was verifying that we all got our picks in, and I saw Jamie did not. But you responded right away.
Yeah, I got on there right away.
Yeah.
Figured it out. But
Good man. All right, time for the biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, guys, through 2 games, the Blues defense looks way better than it did last year. However, I wanted to ask you guys, what is the biggest flaw that we've seen in their defensive scheme so far? So something that we haven't really seen that has worked all too well. We're just nitpicking.
Well, when you only give up 2 goals in 2 games, it's pretty hard to find flaw in what's going on. There have been a couple of turnovers that I haven't been thrilled about, but, it's the second game of the season, too. And some of these teams, especially those 2 teams, Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken, they're fast. Like, they play a really fast brand of hockey. They get in hard on the forecheck. There's not a lot of time and space.
Good goaltending.
For the defenseman to make clean zone exits. Yes, the goaltending for both of those teams was excellent, too. Thank goodness Jordan Binnington was up to the task.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I'm going to go back to Colton Parayko in a positive way. Is just, how comfortable he's looked so far. And just, you can see that he's utilizing his tools to his advantage. Craig Berube always talks about him being able to skate his way out of trouble, make good, clean zone exit passes, join the attack on the offensive side if it's there, using the reach that he has and closing plays out. We have seen all of that in the first 2 games. Last year, not a great year for the Blues defensive core overall, but a lot of the lightning got fired at Colton Parayko, and I think it was merited. He did not play well, but at the end of the day, still it was a group effort. But what I've seen so far this year is a guy that looks a lot more confident, a lot more assertive, and in the last year, I've noticed that when Colton Parayko struggles the most is when he is hesitant, and that's both with and without the puck. You'll see at times where Colton maybe has held on to the puck too long in the past, waiting for a play to develop and waiting, and then the play doesn't develop. Now he either turns the puck over or makes a bad play. It's kind of like a young quarterback that is just waiting for his receiver to work his way open.
Sure.
And it just doesn't happen. And then, oh boy, then the world is crashing down on you.
Yeah.
So I think that he's improved that. He's making quicker plays. And when the play isn't there right away, he's skating. He's moving his feet. There's 3 times the last game where he skated the puck out of the zone while being pressured. The guy couldn't catch him. Skated up over the blue line, made a play, got up to the far blue line, then peeled back, played defense.
Nice.
So in a positive way, both him and Nick Leddy have looked very good. And honestly, we have to praise the defensive core overall because they've only given up 2 goals. I know a lot of that is Jordan Binnington, but Jordan Binnington is making the saves because you're not allowing the second and third opportunities. I don't even know, when you're thinking about rebounds and goal scoring chances, I don't even remember any of the big threatening ones in the last 2 games. We've seen a couple of really good scoring opportunities that have been shut down. But remember last year, be a shot, Binnington would make a rebound, then there was another shot, and then the pass across the crease, backdoor tap in, nothing the goalie can do. He's out there doing the starfish in the crease, just trying to keep the puck out of the net, but he's unable to because, he can only do so much. Knock on wood, we haven't seen that so far. So I think there's a tremendous amount of praise that needs to go to not just the D-core, but the entire team overall by playing tighter defensively.
We get a question. Oh, it's not really a question. It's a statement based off of the question. The Blues are allowing too many shots on goal, especially in the first half of the game. Now, does that really matter if those shots are coming from the outside?
No, not really. If you can keep the puck out of the middle of the ice, that's a goaltender's dream, is a shot from the blue line, a shot from the wall, something like that, non-dangerous area. The goalie can get square to the puck, handle the rebound, don't worry too much about guys driving to the front of the net. So I think I think that a lot of the shots, the volume has been fine based on the fact that they're not always tough scoring opportunities.
There you have it. That's your biggest question of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We have what you missed, criticisms, compliments next.
Dirt Cheap is St. Louis's one-stop party shop. That's right. They've got a huge selection and friendly service and great prices, too. Dirt Cheap is the place to go for all your beer, wine, and any of your spirit needs for that matter. At Dirt Cheap, they pride themselves on having a good selection of beer, wine, and other things available, and all that to save you money at prices that you enjoy. Visit your neighborhood Dirt Cheap today. Browse all the huge selection and the unbeatable prices. How about if you're stocking up for the holidays? How about the bourbon selection? That's right. They've got you covered over there at Dirt Cheap. They've got everything from Jack to Elijah. I know this because I'm a bourbon guy. Get in there and dabble a little bit. Love it. Absolutely love it. They also have the Dirt Cheap app that you can find weekly deals on. You can earn reward points. You can find certain stores, and you can even check inventory in some cases. So please download the Dirt Cheap app. They got a lot of stuff going on there. But for all of your beverage needs, please visit Dirt Cheap. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. And remember, have fun, but be careful out there.
Don't forget the Fast Lane. That's us. We'll be broadcasting live this Friday from 2 to 6 at River City Casino Hotel. As later that evening, the inaugural Blues Warriors Awards Gala will be taking place. You can enjoy an evening of dinner, drinks, awards, a live auction, and more with our guy Jamie Rivers and Chris Kerber, along with former Blues Reed Lowe, Cam Jansen, Tony Twist, and much more. Tickets for the Blues Warriors Awards Gala are now on sale, supporting Blues Warrior hockey, and you can get all the ticket details at 101ESPN.com. Speaking of 101ESPN.com, you can check out our podcast from today's show. If you missed anything, we got you covered. Again, go to 101ESPN.com. You can download the podcast via the 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all free. And that's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Marsh.
Yes.
What do we got for criticisms and compliments?
Well, let's start off with the 314. We had some mic drops today, and we played those earlier in the show. From the 314, that's why you guys are great. We can interact with the show in several forms.
You're darn right. Yeah. You can text us. You can mic drop us. You can tweet us.
You can chat us.
You can chat us. You can Instacart us.
Uh-huh.
You can, hell, you can send us mail if you want.
You can. It does get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tyler O'Wheel was sent to us.
Tyler O'Wheel is on the IR. Shocker.
Tyler O'Wheel. I get it because it's broken down.
Yep, quickly too.
Quickly.
It was great.
What was it,
looks
2 days, 3 days?
Yeah. It looks great, but it's
less than a week.
non-functional.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, and we do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But we got to get maintenance on it.
It's on the 10-day IL.
Yep.
Figure it out.
It'll eventually be...
it'll be back.
It'll come back for like 2 days, and go back again.
Yep.
Anyways, speaking of the Tyler O'Wheel and the Gauntlet from the 636, I have a criticism. Anthony, quit saying the Anthony Stalter in the Gauntlet.
Oh, my God.
I didn't. I stopped like months ago. I only did that for a couple of times after I got criticized for saying myself instead of me.
Maybe they were listening to a podcast.
An old podcast. I don't say it anymore.
You should.
Okay.
I want you to refer to yourself third person all the time.
I love this. Like, Anthony, you screwed up this word. Say this instead. Stop saying that now.
Say a different one.
Okay. I just want to make everybody happy, you know? That's why I'm here.
You're a pleaser, Anthony.
I'm a pleaser. I'm a people person.
Love to please.
I certainly do, Jamie.
I know it, too.
Hell, you know.
Yes.
Marsh, you were there.
Good guy.
Let's just look at the tape.
Jamie Rivers or me today? There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I said me. Thank you, Marsh.
I was confused. I didn't know what the hell we were doing for a second.
That was one of the first times I feel like audio and Marsh using said audio helped me.
Absolutely.
Usually Marshy, I don't know, places you underneath the bus with audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just backs over you slowly.
That's correct. He likes to use some Janet drops.
And,
one in particular.
Or he mixes things together that we didn't really say in that context.
Uh-huh.
It's like his own little version of AI.
Yes.
By the way, we got a text earlier. Actually, it wasn't even a text. It was a tweet. Speaking of, you can tweet us.
Yeah, I think it was Juan, wasn't it?
No, it was Steve.
Oh, it was Steve. My
said
bad.
something about perhaps the Cards should have AI power the front office.
Yeah. And he attributed that feeling to you, Jamie. He said, Rivers, you're a genius. I've got the solution. The Cardinals front office needs help with all this analytic BS. And so STL will be the first to have an AI-powered front office. Brilliant.
I mean, can't get worse.
I don't know if I like that.
You don't know till you've tried it, Marshy.
I don't like
Wouldn't
AI.
that be more analytical? We want less
It's not really
analytics.
analytics, though. It's artificial intelligence. It's not.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Analytics.
Like, could the
meet
AI dive into analytics? Absolutely.
Do anything.
Yeah, it really can.
Yeah. Scary.
It's really scary.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yep.
From the 314, I've gotten so used to texting in my thoughts while listening that I get mad when I'm listening to other shows and can't text them.
Oh, you can text them, right? Or are you just talking about like other shows?
I think just other shows
not
on
just on
radio
101 ESPN,
Yeah.
but maybe like if you're watching a show at night.
Yeah.
Like, I can't text these people.
We're here for you.
Yeah. Like if you're watching a sports show during the day on TV, you can't text them.
No.
Fire off all the texts you want.
Yeah.
314-399-9646. We're here for you.
Guys, we mentioned Dylan earlier in the show, who is the gentleman that unfortunately was in a bad knocker ball accident.
Yeah.
snapped his leg.
Knocked his foot right out of the socket, unfortunately.
Yeah, so
poor Dylan.
He did text us. He says, I'm back at work for a couple of months now, not playing softball again yet. That will be in the spring, but I'm doing well. Feels almost normal again.
If we do have the home run derby next year, I want Dylan to be out there with us. You know?
I don't know.
I'm not saying in said knocker ball, knocking his balls together with somebody else.
We'll have him swimming
out of said knocker ball and just with us.
Yeah, but what if he re-aggravates his injury?
He'll be fine.
I worry.
This is what would happen. He would go up. Anthony would say, hey, why don't you go take a couple swings for us? And as he's getting up there, Anthony says, break a leg.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
You don't think so?
It's more of a Jamie thing.
That is,
Jamie would say something.
What did I do?
Yeah, you know what you did.
It's tough.
What you shouldn't do.
Anthony, you took the punishment today right in the lower back.
Yeah, right in the lower back.
Dan from the Air Comfort Service YouTube page says, how's the back, Stalter?
You know, it's fine now.
The Air Alliance
team,
YouTube page.
YouTube team. Yeah, it stung there for a second. Via the Air Alliance team. You could see it. Yep.
It's in the air.
But it's good now. Yeah. Jamie apparently was aiming lower.
I was.
Which is frightening, honestly, because he probably would have gave me a headshot there.
I felt like a Cardinals pitcher. I couldn't locate properly.
That makes sense. Damn Wilson Contreras behind the dish.
It is his fault.
Didn't set up properly.
How dare he ask for low in the zone?
Yeah.
I'm going high, baby.
How dare he set in low and inside. You throw center cut.
With heat.
Man, no spin.
Speaking of the Air Alliance team YouTube page, the 636 says YouTube has been a game changer for the punishment.
I kind of like that because you could just look like we did today. Camera, boom, it's over with.
We don't wait for
Jackson to send
song and dance and all that other crap.
So BT still has to take his though.
Yeah.
See, BT has an airsoft gun.
Yeah, all we have to do is give it to Dylan or Andrea.
I think Andrea
wonderful
would be
wife,
more than happy.
Absolutely.
To do that.
And she can wait and just do it when she feels he needs one.
I think that we just contact her ourselves.
Sure.
And say, hey, look, BT's going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Just sneak up behind him and shoot him twice. BT will love it.
Absolutely.
We get a text from the 618. I would text more if I wasn't referred to as the 618. You are not referred to the 618.
No, you're
That is
not.
a one singular person on the text line.
Yeah.
So this is not the 618.
No, it's just a 618 number.
Oh, no. I didn't realize that. So this person thinks that because he or she has the 618 area code, that we're saying all 618 is the 618. Oh, no.
No, we would never do that.
No, this is one person.
And the name in the text line, because we can come up with names and stuff. Some people say, hey, I want to be called this. Okay.
But we don't ever give you what you want, usually.
I've never.
You have to earn your name, for sure.
Yep. One way or another.
Yeah. Sometimes you recommend a name, and sometimes we choose one for you
based on your attitude.
Yeah, your interactions.
Your attitude and your interactions. Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, last one here. We were talking about the A's owner, and we were bashing him a lot. From the 918, quit bashing the guy that traded you a possum.
That's true. That's true. Although we never got that possum.
We never did.
He probably didn't pay for the shipping.
No.
It's probably like, what is that, COD? We've got to pay it when we get to
Yeah, right, exactly. I don't think so.
Cash on delivery?
Yeah. What's his name? John Fisher? You try to pull a fast one on us, huh? I don't think so.
Fool
We're not
me
paying
once.
Shame on you. You know what they say.
Fool me can't get fooled again.
Fool me twice. All right, that'll do it for us. See ya.